Okay.
What do you see? Let me go check. See if it tweeted out some shit.
Yeah, both of us logged in. That's why I
That's
say
some
in
weird
broadcast. Yeah, because I got the in broadcast thing too, but I couldn't
Okay,
log out.
we should be good then.
Did Big Country just send a note out?
Yeah, he did it on.
They kicked him off the team for not getting the vaccine?
Yeah,
Wow.
Damn.
gotta get that 85%, man. Let's go. That's pretty much how the country moving now.
Yeah, you can't be second, third team not taking a shot at this point. We'll talk about it on the show, though. I want to say.
All right.
Damn.
When Big Country fell to third team.
Shit, man, watch that, man.
What the hell going on, man?
They thought
We
that
be
boy was
playing dumb
playing.
like he a starter. Like we playing dumb like he a starter on like the regular show and shit. But hold on one second. I'm gonna get started.
Man, I don't know all them people over there, man. Hard enough keeping up with my roster.
TJ, you played at Bethune, didn't you?
He did, but I don't think he heard it for some reason.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I played there.
I'm the one that was talking to you about Ike Jackson that day.
Oh, that's my boy, man.
I went to high school with him. I grew up with him.
Small freaking world, bro. Ike was a damn true to country as hell.
Bro, so the story goes, one day when he got off the bus, he chased down this deer and caught it.
That's the story out there.
Yeah, that's the story about Ike
Funiac?
around here. The Funiac, yeah.
Oh, we lost Doc.
Funiac.
We lost
That's
Doc.
hilarious, man. Yeah, I used to ride home with me all the time too. Whenever we come back home from school.
He's good people, man. He had it hard coming up.
Oh yeah, I know, man. Because it's crazy. Because his dad died prior
And
to
his
coming
mom
in.
right after it.
Right. And I was basically with him when his mom died, man.
It was tough, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Ike, the all-time lead rusher at Cookman too, man. The truth.
He was a dog, bro.
Oh yeah.
I remember one day at practice, he caught me on a crackback on kickoff. I wasn't paying attention because we were just out there practicing, and he caught me, and I was like, well, I won't never fuck around in practice again.
Yeah, we got company, fellas, real quick. Douglas.
He's silent. He muted.
You muted, my brother.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's
Hey,
up,
man, how
bro?
you doing?
How's it going?
Doing well.
We lost Doc, though. The other dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
He back.
Oh,
There you
man.
go.
Yeah, he's back.
Corey, you can take me and Smoke out of the recording, so it's just y'all on the video,
All right, yeah, for sure.
and then we can still hear everything and type in the chat.
Stacy, our third partner, she just had some family situation just pop up right before we were about to jump on. So
it's all good,
bro. Family first, man.
Yeah.
So we'll get it going.
I gotta ask this question because I've heard you guys talk about Big Country for a long time. Who is that? Who is that character? Because
he plays Josh Griffiths. He plays for UF, man. I mean, plays for Florida State.
Griffiths?
Yeah, he plays for Florida State. Yeah,
he was committed to Florida for a little bit, ended up flipping to Florida State. So it's just been like ongoing jokes about, his recruitment.
He's a monster.
Oh, watch out.
Recently kicked off a team, so he wouldn't get the vaccine. So they told him he had to go. I think that's egregious.
I'm surprised they could do that.
I mean, it's happening. Like we're gonna talk about
they got to get that. They got to get to that 85%, man. It's all business at this point.
Yeah, games get forfeited if they're not at a certain
percentage. Yeah,
percentage
and they have an outbreak.
It's wild. All right, we're gonna hang it. We're gonna hang out a little bit. I'm gonna casually bring y'all on the show. You know how we kick it. It's not too uptight, but I think it's gonna be a dope conversation. All ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2. Cam, you good? We recording? Just give me a thumbs up. Make sure you got a screen record going or something, brother.
He put in the chat, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Joining the roll up for the first time to have an interesting conversation. I've been actually looking forward to this conversation and also excited to have you guys on the Rollup Network. We have Philip Duyon, a certified neurologist, and also my man Douglas Mapp, a cognitive development professional. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you got that right.
And they're coming in. They're coming to hang out with us from Think Different. I'm sorry, 3, 2, 1. I did that wrong. Let me do that over. I'm sorry. I got my notes.
And his name
Is it Felipe?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's Philippe
Philippe.
Duyon.
Okay. Duyon. All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm excited to have you guys on the show and also on the Rollup Network. We're kicking it on the new Rollup. We got some fresh guests. My man Philippe Duyon, a board certified neurologist, and also Douglas Mapp, a cognitive development professional. Fellas, how's it going?
Hey, man, going well.
Yeah,
thank
you for having us.
Thank you for coming on. We just had a conversation about mental health. So it's a perfect time to have you guys on to speak about your platform, your app, joining our network to talk some mental health and cognitive development. Tell our guests a little bit about yourselves and your background.
Doug, you want to go first?
I'll go first since you're a little bit more impressive than I am. But like you introed me, I'm a board certified cognitive development professional. It just means I help people. I help people work on their ability to think and process information in a fast way. I got into this a few years ago after leaving the engineering world to help people use their brains in a stronger, better way. And so I developed a company called Think Up, which is why I think it's important to think well, think better, and we can help people buy this platform and do this company to help them with their overall cognitive health.
I like it.
Yeah, so I'm a board certified neurologist, epileptologist. So I'm a brain expert, a brain doctor who specializes in people that have seizures and epilepsy. I'm the author of the book Neuroplasticity, Your Brain's Superpower, which teaches people about how their brains are constantly evolving, how they adapt, how they heal after they've had some kind of injury. I'm the founder of the company, the Inley Brain Fit Institute, which is a health and wellness company for people with medical, mental, and neurological disorders. And I'm also the creator of the online course and coaching program, Take Charge of Your Brain in 30 Days.
I like it. Now I was on you guys' my man Douglas sent me an assessment online, and also been on your website, Think Up Lifestyle. You guys have a quote on there that pretty much says, "We can't do better until we think better."
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah. So if you look around and you start looking at the problems that exist amongst our communities and our societies, a lot of them are broken down into the fact that we don't think well enough, or we thought our way into the problem. Right. And so if we're going to get out of this problem or create better solutions for ourselves, we're going to have to think our way out of those things so that we can test fast, right? Fail if we need to fail, but then move on to whatever's progressive next. And that all starts with what's going on up here. It's the strongest muscle we have and the one we know the least about when it comes to just the general everyday guy.
Got it. I'm going to ask this question, then I'm going to kind of let it go round table with the guys so we can have it free flowing a little bit. Philippe.
Yep.
Could you explain to like the average listener that don't know a whole lot about your app and the technology or what you're trying to trying to word it right? Your exercise and your platform, whatever you're trying to deliver to the people, this app you say we need. Can you explain exactly why we need it and what the app does?
Yeah, so to piggyback off of what Doug was saying, so there's some research out there that says that we've got somewhere between 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts every single day, right? 90 to 95% of those thoughts are the same exact thoughts that we had yesterday. And so then people wonder, why is it that their lives aren't changing? They're not changing because they're not thinking differently, right? Albert Einstein said, we can't solve our problems with the same thinking that we used when we created them. And so not only are 90 to 95% of those thoughts the same thoughts we had yesterday, but 60 to 70% of the thoughts that we have every single day are negative at best. So we're constantly thinking the same thing, and they're not moving us forward. They're holding us back, right? They're not positive thoughts. They're not helping us solve problems. So we've really got to look at the way a different way of how we approach problems, how we approach our lives, which really means that we need to start thinking very, very differently.
Right.
Okay, like to my understanding, the majority of your work is centered around the brain, how its health can determine our overall health. I think like that, it almost comes off as like just positive thinking, but I think what you're saying is a lot deeper than that. Can you delve into that just a little bit?
Yeah, so it's more than just trying to think positively. If you let's start here. So psychologists for years have understood that there is like I call it the physics of the brain or the physics of intelligence, right? The ability to understand how it is that we actually think to accomplish a thing. And when you're looking at those I guess terms or attributes, they correlate with your performance in life, right? And so they call it the theory of intelligence, and it gives us a understanding of how to look at your what we call cognitive skills, which is what Corey is talking about when he took an assessment earlier at some point, that actually measures how well your brain is thinking with certain attributes in order for you to produce particular results, right? And so those things affect like your memory, your attention, your long-term memory, your processing speed, auditory processing, your visual processing. And it's all behind your ability to really create and be effective like the first time. Right. So we don't get to relive the past. So how do we live the future better is by being prepared for that, for the future. And so your cognitive skills are behind that. And you can't just decide to think your way into that realm. Like if you're not strong, like I know during the show, Larry, and they talk about you and being heavy sometimes. And so, there's not like, you can't just decide tomorrow I'm going to run a half a marathon, right? Without training for that half a marathon. Same thing. If you want to think, not just think well, but if you want to say, I want to be a business owner that then makes a multi-billion dollar whatever, you have to have the cognitive ability to make that happen. And some people are like, I believe like the LeBron James of thinkers, so they can seem like they naturally do it. And some motivational speakers are doing that too, where they're good thinkers. And when you look around, you could think that everybody should be able to do that, but then not everybody naturally can do that. And so for those people, and even for those who still, I believe can, there's still room for improvement, room to actually check what your cognitive skills are doing, and then take action to make them even better. Because all that's going to do is raise the awareness and the cognitive skills of everybody around us, right? So like they say, the rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah, just real quick, just going through that assessment, it felt like exercising. And I wasn't really prepared for it like I should have. You sent an email and it said to sit aside 45 minutes. I made sure all that happened. But the minute I hit go and like the puzzle and the games you're playing, it's like a memory, and it's like exercise. So I did feel my brain like kind of going through some things that they don't normally do. And I could see how things like that these exercises and games can help your brain stay in shape, kind of like working out.
Where was our assessment, bro? What about us?
He didn't tell me to set you guys up with them.
I want my brain to get sharp too.
Yeah, I definitely would like to be a part of that for sure.
Yeah, we could set you guys up. You know, part of what we were building, and not to dominate the conversation, Philippe, is a community of people who want to elevate their ability to think. In our communities, especially in the underserved communities, from a cognitive standpoint, we actually see like we're behind cognitively than some of the other communities. And so it's important for us to understand not just not just getting school content, but to understand that cognitive skills plus school contents is what creates academic success. And so if we can raise our cognitive skills up, I believe that the content that we can start taking or bringing into ourselves will elevate us in ways that previously was not happening.
What kind of exercises and programs do you think will help athletes? What is your strategy as far as working with athletes with this type of technology and science?
So, so especially when it comes to the college ranks and then the high school ranks, you think about them as student athletes, right? And so, and like they like to say, less than 1% of them are going to go pro. So if that's the case, then we need to work on their ability to think well, because thinking well does a couple of things. It improves your processing speed, which is improving your attention as well. And what those things does, that speeds up your reaction time, right? It makes you a student of the game while you're in the game, so you can make adjustments and react appropriately. So you know how they like to say, oh, we don't want you to really think, we want you to react. Well, all of that happens before you have a chance to actively think about it. And those are things that your cognitive skills kind of sit underneath that ability. And so if you can improve those areas in a person, which there's a ton of studies that talk about, in which what we do here, proven to effectively raise that standard or raise those bottom floors, people are reacting in much better ways. When it comes to processing speed, at the company I own here, we improved that by about 20%. On average. And our company nationwide has worked with over 100,000 people. So this becomes a pretty cool thing when you start giving that ability to students or even athletes. And then also when it comes to traumatic brain injuries, and I want Philippe to talk about TBIs and how
I have a traumatic brain injury. That's what I have. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, since you guys brought up athletes, their brains actually work more efficiently, especially professional athletes, than people who are not professional athletes. The reality is that athletes are constantly giving their brains what they need to be healthy. And so we used to think that our brains didn't evolve at all. Like we were born with a certain amount of cells in the brain, neurons in the brain. And as we got older, the only thing that could potentially happen would be that we would lose them as a part of aging, or if somebody had a brain injury. But we now know that that's not the case. Our brains are constantly evolving. They're constantly changing with every new thought that we have, every new experience that we have. And the biggest promoter of neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to make new neurons, make new cells, is to exercise, is to physically exercise. And that's what athletes are doing all the time, right? So when we look at an athlete like Serena Williams, if she wins a tennis tournament in Italy this week, right, she'll deliver her victory speech in Italian. If she wins a tennis tournament in France next week, she delivers her victory speech in French. And the reality is that it's because these athletes are giving their brains exactly what they need to efficiently work and pick up, whether it's multiple languages or different skills, right? Even though they may not be in Italy or France for extended periods of time. Right. And so you can translate this to business, right? So you look at a LeBron James, right, who's on his way to hit $1 billion. That's not coming from his basketball career. That's coming from all his outside business ventures, right? Magic Johnson's the same. Michael Jordan's over $1 billion already. And so being physically active gives our brains what we need for our brains to work really efficiently, as well as doing some other things that we can talk about, like eating right, getting enough sleep, minimizing your stress. Now, when you've got a traumatic brain injury, right? So it means that you, in all likelihood, you got hit in your head, and either there was bleeding that happened in the brain or the brain got pushed up against the skull. And when that happens, right, you're causing injury to the brain that sometimes you don't even see when you're doing a CAT scan or an MRI for somebody. The injury can happen deep within to the cells of the brain, but the person feels the effects of that, right? Whether it's like headaches, dizziness, memory issues, concentration issues. When it happens, we often call it a concussion. It's just a brain injury plus some kind of neurological effect. So, and that can be as little as a headache. And a lot of times it just takes some time of giving your brain rest. So I often liken it to if you break your arm, right? We put your arm in a cast for 6 weeks and tell you not to use it, to allow it to heal, right? And then after those 6 weeks are up, then we start doing rehab, you know, and your arm might get stronger, but even 3 years out, sometimes you might feel a little pain in that area. Well, we can't turn off your brain for 6 weeks to allow it to rest. I mean, we could, but we put you in a coma. Most people don't want to be in a coma for 6 weeks if they don't need to be, right? So it takes the brain that much longer because it's constantly on and constantly working, even while it's injured, right? And then it's about sort of really slowly getting back to doing things that the person used to do to help their brain sort of recover. But they may, even long-term, notice that they've got some side effects as a result.
What are some of the things you can do to help heal yourself in that way? Or is there anything?
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do is you want to rest. So you want to physically rest as well as cognitively rest, right? So when somebody has a concussion, oftentimes they'll say, okay, you're not going back to work for a week or a couple weeks. And even when you do go back to work, you got to take it really, really slow. So being on the computer all day, that's not going to be good for your brain after you've been injured, right? So that rest in the initial period is really, really important. Slowly getting back to doing things is really, really important as well. But then you want to do the things that are going to be really healthy for your brain, that are going to promote its healing, right? So we talked about exercise. And at the beginning, it's not going to be some full force, really intense kind of exercise. It might be walking around the block for 30 minutes, right? Before you get on a treadmill. It may not be lifting weights for a while. So you want to decrease the intensity and then slowly work your way up. A lot of people. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought you was about to stop. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
A lot of people don't realize the impact that food has on their brain. Food has a significant impact on brain health. Stress actually kills, long-term stress kills neurons in the brain, right? And so when we think about how many people are just chronically stressed, not getting enough sleep is really bad for the brain. In fact, sleep is made exclusively for your brain, right? That's when it gets rid of the toxins that are building up throughout the day. That's when it takes what you've learned throughout the day and turns it into long-term memory. So sleep is really important. And you also want
I was told by my neurologist to cut the TV off too when I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because your brain doesn't shut down.
Yeah, so there are things that you can do to help promote sleep, right? So turn the TV off like 60 minutes before. The reality is you have to prepare your brain and body to sleep. So we cut the TV off about 30 to 60 minutes before. I tell people all the time that your bedroom is for rest and for sex. Get all the electronics out of your bedroom. Right? So that includes your phone. You don't want to be reaching for your phone.
Gotta get that playlist right for the sex though, Philip.
Listen,
like, I'm gonna change songs, man.
Well, you got to make sure you've got, Usher, then Brian McKnight.
All lined up.
Whatever that baby making music is.
How many songs you need?
Well, how long are you lasting?
About 3.
Let's be real. About 3 songs. That'll get
that's all you need to get the job done, though. 3 songs, man.
9 to 12 minutes.
I guess you have to ask the woman, because there are plenty of women that come with their husbands or with their guys being like, is there anything that you can do to help them?
Yeah, for sure. I think the hardest thing.
My bad.
Go CJ.
Is that tied to the brain also?
Of course, yeah. Of course. A lot. Something that doesn't get talked
y'all got some exercise for that? Like some
Look at
everybody. Yeah. So on the platform, on the Think of Lifestyle, there's going to be a courses that we're setting up. It's going to be called Your Brain on Sex. So that'll be something we'll come back on and talk about. And when we talk about it on the Brain Profits podcast, that people will hear about that as well.
Shout out to the Brain Profits podcast. Going to be launching on the Big 3 Rollup Network. I'm excited to have you guys on the network. But also, I wanted to talk about traumatic brain injury real quick. I think the toughest part when I was dealing with it was the roller coaster mentally. Like, it wasn't just like the injury itself. You're dealing with pain and all that stuff. But I think the roller coaster of like emotions, thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Like your brain, and then like somebody that has never always felt like I was in control of things. So when I felt like I was in control of my thoughts and like the thoughts that would come into my head, it gets a little creepy. I started understanding like guys like Junior Seau and the shit they went through dealing with head injuries. It's a little tricky than just getting sleep because your mind's playing tricks on you a little bit as well. What do you guys have like for that? Like what do you normally tell your patients when they're dealing with that type of stuff?
Yeah, I think people don't realize that everything about who you are from the perspective of an organ has to do with your brain. And I'm somebody who's always felt that the more we learn about the brain, the more that psychiatry, neurology, and psychology will all come together. Because the reality is that we all study the same organ. We just do it from different perspectives, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, people can have hallucinations as a result of brain injury, especially if that injury is impacting, their temporal lobes, right? Part of the brain that's sort of on the side and plays a role in like emotions and memory, right? People can develop seizures, and seizures can look like anything, right? Seizures can actually be hallucinations sometimes. It doesn't have to be somebody falling to the floor and having this big convulsion. It could be, just a feeling of anxiety that lasts a couple of minutes, right? So you want to do a thorough evaluation to see why the person's having some of the symptoms that they're having. And if everything else looks good. Sometimes it's about giving the brain enough time to sort of rest. Remember, the brain, it's not just neurons and all these cells. It's also all these chemicals that we call neurotransmitter that influence everything from your mood to your thought processes. And sometimes you do give medications that either enhance those neurotransmitters depending on the symptoms that some person's having, or it decreases them based on the symptoms that the person's having, because that can be contributing to this, to things like hallucinations.
Yeah, and to add to that, and what I do on the cognitive psychology side of things, and what we do in these types of interventions, you can add what they call metacognitive, which just means change thinking activities that promote neurological growth in new ways, which is just driving what they call the neuroplastic change engines, right? So there are activities that we know positively can I want to say enhance and repair damage to certain ways that you were thinking previously. So we work with people with traumatic brain injuries all the time as well here.
Doc, I always been curious about this because, like, I've heard it thrown around, but I'm sure you studied the brain, continue to this day. Medicine never really stopped. Way longer than anybody's ever said this. But how much of the brain do we actually use? How much don't we know?
That's a great question. So we use 100% of our brain.
Really? Right? See, everybody says 10. That's why I've always heard that. But I was like, that sounds mythical.
Yeah, it always a theory about it's a certain percentage, and we don't want to tap into the other percentage and whatnot. Yeah, that's
there's a theory running around and on the neurological message boards that talk about it's mainly Miami fans who use less, but
I can see that.
Yeah, that makes sense a lot. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Speaking of Miami fans, we had a couple of Miami players, and we spoke about it already on the show, but we had a couple of Miami players that sent out a couple of tweets about, just not being in the right mental space. Do you think college programs should start implementing these type of programs that you guys offer to players or to normal people?
Yeah, no, I believe so, 100%. If Philippe could talk about the history a little more, but we're just kind of scratching the surface, maybe a little bit deeper than that, but scratching the surface when it comes to what we understand about the brain. We have, neurology has come a long ways in a short amount of time. And so if we utilize and brought to the forefront some of the things that we can currently do with people, I think we should do that sooner than later. What do you think about that, Philippe?
Yeah, I mean, we've learned more about the brain in the last 20 years than we did the previous 200 years, right? And so we're now starting to realize just how powerful the brain is. And one of the things that I tell people is that the most powerful technology in the world, it weighs 3 pounds and it's located inside your skull. You just really need to learn how to become the leader that your brain needs you to be, because your brain can be completely out of control and take you down a dark, deep hole really, really quickly, right? Once you start having one negative thought, like, your girl pisses you off, and then all of a sudden it's not just that she pissed you off, but then it's like, look how crappy this world is, look how crappy my life is. Like it just spirals out of control really, really quick. And so it needs you to be a leader in order for you to be able to create the life that you want for yourself.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was going to ask a question for CJ from the brain side of things. With the Florida State fans thinking that they're going more than 6-6 this season.
Right. They may need some of this.
How you guys make that mathematics work?
It ain't funny no more, right?
Well, no, like I said,
you thought he was a Florida State fan. I was trying to wait to see who he was with. That's why I ain't say nothing. I ain't know who he was with.
I figured it was you for sure. But no, if you like I said, if you just use your brain, like you said, and you just look at the schedule, I think it's pretty favorable when you look at the games outside of Notre Dame, Clemson, probably Florida, North Carolina, and possibly Miami. So if you win those games, you should be winning against the Syracuse, the Wake Forests of the world. You can get to 6-6 or 7-6, depending on your bowl also. So I think FSU fans are definitely using 100% of their brain.
Just lost the Wake Forest. Bad.
No, we didn't play Wake Forest last year.
Yeah, we just discussed this, Larry, on like
the last time they played. I know, but the last time they played,
we beat them last time we played, bro. Yeah, did we? Yeah, we lost. That was
Willie. That was Willie got it. Yeah, Willie got up out of there. See,
yeah,
no, I ain't crazy.
But no, if we win those games, man, I think 6-6 can definitely be possible, and then 7-6 depending on the bowl draw. But when we throw in, us beating Miami, then I definitely feel like the 7-5 and 6-6 would definitely be commendable for sure.
He got it, TBI. How would you figure? How would you figure that you not a neighbor if you're ranked number 13 and we're ranked number 14? How would we be worlds apart as programs, Doug?
Because you guys always start the season.
Brother. Yeah,
my bad.
You don't mind. I'm asking
I got
Doug,
you. I'll handle that later.
Yeah, with Doug, if you don't mind.
You talking about if somebody's 13 and somebody's 14, how are they not neighbors?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would appear that they are neighbors. I think at the moment in time,
somebody's at an Airbnb, Doug.
Neighbors, bro.
We own. This is our neighbor. Somebody's here for the weekend. Because Alabama put up 75, like they definitely get evicted.
That's true. That's true. That's funny. I think that from the standpoint of like how people are just ranking things, I think it's really based off of what they believe they would like to see happen. So there's no real rhyme or reason for the ranking for them to be neighbors. But hey, you gotta have hope somewhere. That's what we do best in this country, right?
Right about that.
Right.
You brothers are incredibly
hope without numbers.
You brothers are incredibly impressive, and I think like what you guys are doing is really great stuff. We had Osaka step down in tennis, and also Simone Biles step down. What's your opinion on them stepping down with their mental health? And this is the first time we've seen something like this, where athletes step down and come out and be honest about, hey, I'm just not good mentally, and I'm not going to perform.
And be in control of the situation itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, from my perspective, I'm at a place where I'm really tired of people telling athletes when they should speak and when they shouldn't speak, right? I mean, we tell athletes to shut up and dribble when we don't want to hear from them about social justice issues. But when we want them promoting a sport, we tell them, okay, now we need you to do all these press conferences. And the reality is when it comes to Naomi Osaka, the most powerful she's ever been, it's never been in a conference room in front of the media. It's been when she's done things like wore the mask with the murder victims of the police killings, right? With the names of those people. It's been, last week or 2 weeks ago when she said that she was going to donate all her prize money from the previous tournament to the Haiti relief efforts. And so sometimes to watch her give a press conference can be a little painful because the impact that it's having on her, how the anxiety, you can witness the anxiety. And then, Simone Biles, again, is a really amazing athlete, right? None of these women have anything to prove to anybody. They've accomplished a lot in their own sports. And the reality is, if you're not going into competition mentally prepared, then you do risk potentially injuring yourself, especially in something like gymnastics. But in any sport,
right.
The same way, if you're not going into something physically prepared, right, you risk injury. But the same thing is mentally. So I commend them for, sort of taking charge of their own lives and being like, listen, I will entertain you on my terms. And right now, I'm not in the mental space to do so.
Yeah, no, I applaud those women and people that do take a stand. And I also like the fact that they have elevated a conversation in a more serious way to talk about mental health, to have people trying to understand what that means. I think to have a real definition and understand the terms behind that and what goes all into understanding what, kind of powers our body. The most of your calories, your brain is the number one organ that spends the most percentage of your calories in a day, right? Almost 20% of the calories that you expend is done by your brain or used by your brain. So for them to bring those things up, their concerns and how they're handling and dealing with things, all that does is help the rest of us understand that we need to, maybe look at that and take a greater inventory of what's going on between our two ears.
Right.
I know you guys probably get about get up out of here, I want to ask you real quick, Dr. Duyan, about the app, the actual brain. What's it called? Brain Fit, I believe.
Oh, Dr. Duyan's Brain Fit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Explain to the audience a little bit about what's going on over there.
So
I downloaded it today, but I didn't even get a chance to mess with it yet. So
yeah, so it's like a medical Candy Crush. It's to teach people about things that they can do to influence their overall health, but especially the health of their brains. And it's not about taking any medications. It's really about the impact that food, exercise, sleep, minimizing stress, those kind of things have on the evolution of your brain and body. And so the game is organized into 40 levels. So the first level starts with sedentary lifestyle, and you're matching healthy foods and healthy activities. You go up to levels that include hypertension, diabetes, and ending with Alzheimer's disease. That's the 40th level. And through each level, there are questions that come up as you match these healthy foods and healthy activities that help to promote learning, things that you can just do in your everyday life to keep yourself really healthy in every way.
dope, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that, man. I played like the level 1, and I was like, I gotta get ready for the show, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I checked out a lot of your content. You got questions, CJ? I don't want to cut you off, bro. Okay. I was checking out some of like the previous interviews, and conversations you had in the past, and one of the things I caught that you said in previous interviews about meeting people where they at. This is just a phrase that just kept standing out to me every time you said it. Explain that a little bit more, because like even when you articulate certain things in those interviews, it got dumbed down to a level for me to understand a lot of like neurology talk or just like basic stuff. So explain that theory as well with what you got going on.
Yeah, so there's research out there that says when somebody comes to see a doctor, if you ask them what the conversation was about 2 weeks later, they don't remember anything. They don't remember anything about what the doctor said, what the doctor prescribed. There are patients that I have seen that when I go through their history, I'm like, oh, so why did you have abdominal surgery? And they're like, I don't know, my doctor told me. My doctor told me to, but they don't know why they had the surgery. So they let somebody cut them open and they have no idea why. And so when you think that in this country, most people are healthcare illiterate, which means that they don't understand the words that we use in medicine. They don't really understand disease, what causes disease or how to heal from disease. And you add to that just how emotional and scary it is going to the doctor sometimes, right? Because a lot of times you may potentially get bad news, or they're seeing you for a chronic illness that is interfering with your life in some way. And so all of that makes it so that it's not going to be a really comfortable and experience for the person. And they're not going to remember a lot of things. And so you want to meet people where they're at, meaning that you want to use language that's going to be easy for them to understand. You want to interact with them in non-threatening situations, right? As best as you can. And sometimes that means doing things like this, as opposed to having them come to the office or to the hospital in the comfort of their home, where they feel free to ask whatever questions, right? Or following up with them where they might have had time to process the information, or creating a platform like I've got my online course where they can go back and review some of the things that were talked about that impact their own health. And so that's what meeting people where they're at is. It's just, being able to communicate to them in a safe way for that individual.
Yeah, I like it. Also, you guys going to be doing the podcast on the network.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I'm hella excited about that. I want to keep the network, the Rollup network, diverse, bringing brothers on to talk about brain health, having neurologists and development, cognitive, however you say that, guys on the platform. Cognitive.
Yeah, no.
Having you guys on the platform, I think is powerful stuff. We need to get this message, especially to our culture and our people. It's a little taboo speaking about these things. So I think it's powerful stuff that we're doing. But explain the podcast and what you guys want to bring to the network.
Yeah, so the Brain Profits is the podcast. There's 3 of us, myself, Philippe there, and then Stacy Busby. She's a performance coach that works with entrepreneurs and other individuals who want to, of course, level up, figure out how to take their life and get to that, uber vision that they have. It's if you can think you can achieve it, she's like, let's look beyond that and get to that. So she helps a lot of people do that around the country. But anyways, the Brain Profits is a show that's about not just brain health, but also about performance and the takes that we see or we're looking at that shows that, hey, if you don't do X with your brain, the certain outcomes that you would expect to achieve won't happen. And so we get to look at, pop culture, the psychology, the theories, medicine, from all aspects, just from where we see of how do we use our brain to take advantage of the advances that this life has provided us, right? And currently right now, it looks like we're not really taking that much advantage collectively. So how do we help give that message to the people? That's what we're going to talk about. And hopefully people will rock with us and learn something along the way. And of course, hopefully they'll want to level themselves up, right? Because again, if you want to catch up or do something to get ahead, you're going to have to figure out how to outthink the guy next to you in order to do that. And it's about that process of getting that message across to people.
So if they do want to level up, do we send them to your app? Is it Think Up, or how do we get the people into your program into like that next step?
Yeah, they can reach us and find us all. We're all on you can find us we're on Instagram, the Brain Profits is the podcast. And then if they go to lifestyle.thinkupexcellence.com, they can jump on the platform there, and then they'll be directed to anything that they want there. And we're all on there. We communicate with the people that are on the platform, and then we can get them started in a suitable pathway for them, depending on where they're at, right? So it's about meeting people where they're at.
All right, let's get CJ and Larry on those assessments, man. We would love to be ambassadors of all this, be a part of what y'all got going on. We think it's dope. But yeah, just get us the information before we can start being y'all lab rats a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is some exciting stuff to me. I'm always interested in what we don't know about the brain. So this is really dope stuff, man. I think a lot of people are gonna be happy to tune in, man. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, man, thank you very much.
For me, it's like when I was crazy in the gym, I just walked around with different little energy. Like I got one up on like the average guy, right? Like, I don't know what may happen in the parking lot or in traffic, but if you get an attitude, I hope you in shape. That's how I always felt. So like if I can get this type of mental, you know what I'm saying, exercise and be sharp just mentally, right?
You'll be dangerous, man.
Dangerous as hell, Doug.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I promise, man.
If they throw a punch, you'll be able to dodge it like Neo.
Yeah.
Don't gas him, man. I'm telling you, you still think he's 240, man. I'm telling you.
I do mentally. That's a problem. That is definitely a problem.
Oh, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you fellas for coming to hang out with us, man. Beautiful conversation. We're going to have you guys on more throughout the season. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of mental. It's a thing now. So as we get things that come up in the news, we'll have you guys come on and hang out with us. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right, for sure. Thank you guys for having us.
Most definitely, guys.
All right, fellas. I think that went really well.
Good shit. Despite Doug talking that gator shit.
Yeah,
I didn't say nothing.
I thought you left.
I'm not. I didn't even. Hey, I do want to say I really like listening to the Culture Uncut. I don't know if this is in the best show, but I do like listening to that show. It makes me feel like I know a little bit about you guys now.
Right.
So it's like, man, I feel like I know him. I don't know him. Oh, this past week's.
Yeah,
no, yesterday.
No, the one that we just dropped yesterday.
No, I did not hear that one yet.
You're gonna love that one.
The last one.
My brother was snoring on that thing, man.
Man, don't say you ruined it, man.
Oh, my bad. I did ruin it.
Oh, I could imagine that because they talked about you having to go to work early in the morning on the last week's one, so you disappeared.
Man, we be going too late. 11 o'clock. I'm like, bro, I'm out. I've been up since 3 a.m., 2 a.m. most days.
Yeah, I feel them, definitely.
No. See, man, talk about that sleep, man.
Yeah, real talk.
Gotta get, man. Yeah, that's the first time. That's the only time. That's the only time in real life you go through what we call the brainwashing process. Your brain literally squirts spinal fluid into your brain, into your skull, and washes the toxin off of your brain. So you have to get rid of that. So you have to get this sleep. That's like super, super critical. Otherwise, you walk around with toxins, you don't even realize it every day.
So it puts you at risk of Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, that too.
So what's the average you guys would? I guess average number of hours of sleep. You know, we get that like 8 hours or whatever. From you guys' perspective, what would be the average?
So this is interesting. So you got sleep neurologists and sleep specialists that will tell you whatever you feel. So, but
I
the
wouldn't say
standard
that.
is. I mean, I know you wouldn't say that, but I've worked with the sleep specialists who will say that. The other neurologists that'll say, "Oh man, it's whatever you feel is appropriate." Some people can do 4 hours, some people can do 6 hours or 8 hours. So, I don't know. So I'm gonna let Philippe. You could give them the medical opinion, but
yeah, I mean,
it's dependent on the
should
person.
be getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep because so you want to get into the deeper stages of sleep, and your sleep cycle takes about 90 minutes. So it takes about 60 minutes for you to even get into the deeper stages, and you want to try to get through that cycle 6 to 8 times per night. So you want to get 6 to 8 hours. Even people who get like 9 hours of sleep, cognitively, they don't do as well. They may feel better, but if you try to have them do a task, they won't do better than somebody who got 6 to 8 hours, and they may do worse. So their ability to focus and concentrate is not good if they're getting more than
you get too much sleep as well.
Yeah, too much sleep is bad for you too.
Yeah. So if you guys taking too many naps, you gotta quit that.
I wish I could take naps. I deal with the consequences if I could, but I just don't. I can't get it. Can't make it happen. Too busy around here.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, because I don't want to fall asleep on this show too.
Yeah, we got to finish up with Larry.
We got a whole another 2 hours to do. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, later, fellas.
Later.
Yeah, we got to get that piece in the show.
Yeah, leave that in, Cam. That was good shit. That brainwashing shit was good. Y'all got the docket. We ain't changed much on that. Shit was fire. I thought that's gonna come over very well on the timeline, dog.
Did you? You didn't.
I sent it yesterday. I'm gonna read. I ain't sent a new one.
Yeah,
I got a life coach question. I think. Let me go back into the DMs. There's a couple.
Down in the DMs. Oh, okay, good.
Where's the docket at? I didn't change much on the docket besides.
Let's see. Yeah, we gotta send this docket. I need docket in my.
I'm gonna talk. In my big three talk, I'm gonna talk some NIL shit. Just like I don't have a conversation like because everybody bitching about like Walter Nolan dad and shit. So I don't have a conversation about that. I think it's just gonna be good.
I didn't even see that.
What is dad talking about?
He's just shopping them around a little bit, you know. Like
okay.
Yeah.
Exactly, dog. I'm like, okay.
Just, man, people don't never want you to do what you want to do with your own family and friends. Man, get out of here. Smoke, you almost made me bust out laughing in the middle of the show, man, putting them goggles on and shit. What the hell is that about?
Goggles? What happened?
Yeah, he was down at the bottom, right? And then he put on some like ski goggles. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
I didn't see that shit.
Yeah, I just caught it like in the bottom of my peripheral. I was like, what the hell is Smoke doing? That boy looked like what's your name? Laramie Tunsil.
The intro is
on.
Oh yeah, I got one of them gas masks around here. Them shits are trash, to be honest. Let's do the intro. I'm gonna keep the intro sweet. I ain't got a whole lot. Talk about like the past week and shit like that, and then we'll just keep it going, bro. Brian Powder case. We're gonna do that after the ad read. Y'all ready? That bitch Patter or Potter? Patter, right?
Patter, yeah.
Okay. Hey Cam, we're gonna have to email you the new intro, all right? Just giving you a heads up. We got an intro. He'll email you that, and you can plug that in. Also, I need to get the yo roll up that kid voice as well. If we could grab that. I hope you heard me. I don't know. I'll talk to you later.
Look in the
y'all boys ready?
Chat. I think he in the private chat.
Yeah, you say you got it in the chat.
Private chat? What chat am I in?
You in the comments. If you look to the right, it'll say private chat. Yeah. That way the people like in the room can't see it.
You have the yo kid. Okay, yeah, put that yo kid.
Yeah.
Put that right after like this the shit we send you. We're gonna send you a clip, but right before I start talking, you can put the little kid in and shit. Are y'all boys ready?
For shizzle.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. 3, 2. Matter of fact, where my weed at? Let me show you.
3, 2. Matter of fact, where my weed at?
I want to be searching this shit. Shit throw me off. I'm the host now, so it's different vibes. 3, 2, 1. New roll up, new vibes. We back kicking it after 2 weeks of festivities. It's the 3rd episode. It's your host, your favorite Uncle Silk, kicking it with my brethren, Larry, CJ. What's the vibes like? Y'all boys good?
Everything's love, man. This Larry, man, your second favorite uncle, man. I'm working on. I'm gonna outdo this cat, man. I'm gonna be y'all favorite uncle. Watch. Wait till we kick it at the tailgates and stuff. You're gonna be like, yeah, I think we got a new favorite uncle in town.
Nah, because at the tailgates, I'm not gonna. You definitely gonna have more grays than me because I'm I black this shit out when I go out and like.
Okay, cool.
On the town.
Cool. Yeah, you know what's crazy, man? You sound like Coach Wide, man. I remember Alvin Wide, the old legend coach at Bethune-Cookman. He told us in practice, man, like he'll never. You look at pictures, you never seen Coach Wide with gray hair. Man, he was like 60, 70 years old, and he used to dye all that shit, man. Man, even told us he'd dye his pubic hairs, man.
Yeah,
it crossed my mind a few times. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, come on.
Hey, man, anyway, old lady made a few jokes, bro.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Make you reevaluate stuff. But yeah,
sure.
man, since y'all the uncles, man, it's your favorite cousin, man. Definitely holding it down. I am. All good vibes. Ready to get into this pod for sure.
Oh man, your boys made it through. Y'all boys tried the crate challenge.
Man,
y'all weekend was safe.
Come on, man.
Very safe, man. You won't never catch you on that type of jump, man. That shows like the whole American ego is just danger, man. Them cats don't give a damn about it. Don't care how dangerous it could be.
So I don't know if crackheads really have ego like that.
Now, I've been seeing a lot of kids and stuff doing it, man.
Yeah,
I seen one cat. I seen one cat get kicked off the damn crates.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Somebody
ran up and did like the shadow kick from Johnny Cage.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat. He gave the shadow kick right, like at the top 1, 2.
Yeah, he knocked
Buddy out of there.
Yeah, I think at that point you're past fighting, man. You got to shoot him after that.
Yeah. When I get out the hospital, you getting shot.
Yeah.
Who's y'all favorite crate walker? Like, what was y'all favorite accomplished dude? Like, who finished the task the best for y'all?
I saw it was a mascot, man. I forget from what.
Colts?
Yeah, the Colts. Yeah,
yeah,
the Colts mascot. That was pretty cool to see the mascot doing on the social media, on their social media handle and finish the crate challenge. So that was pretty cool.
For me, it's probably still my man who was rolling the doobie up.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of the dub. Like after that, I really didn't want to see nothing else. Like that's grand champ.
Right, you can't get no higher than that.
I seen a girl do it in heels. I thought that was she upped the level of difficulty with the heels.
She made it
all the way through with heels.
Bro,
on, man.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I saw her and I turned it off. I was like, I can't see this.
She gonna
die, break her neck. Yeah, I was like, nah, this can't be good. So I just got out of there before she even. I was like, nah, no way.
So they said the secret to it is on bent knees and stepping in the middle of the crate.
Okay, well, you show us. You the young buck. You're the young buck. I'm 40.
That's just the theory. We ain't gonna put that theory to the test at all, though.
I'm 40 and way too heavy for that. Every time I see somebody up there 270, I'm like, come on, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, get your big ass down, man.
I thought it was dope how, like, it's crazy. I ain't getting my ass on no crate at all. But I think it's dope.
But did y'all see the brothers in prison doing it too?
Bro, this shit made it to prison. Like, it's such like this shit made it everywhere. Like, we influential as shit, bro. Like, I thought that was crazy impressive that this hood Olympic activity made it like until like the Coast facility. Right. The rapper Blueface is doing it. Of course, it made it to some emergency rooms as well, but I think that shit was dope. I'm tired of seeing crates now, though.
Yeah, game over for that, bro. Y'all stop. It's over. There's nothing else to be done on them crates. There's something new coming.
I wonder how much money the crates made these last couple of weeks.
Where do they find these crates at?
Yeah,
they stealing them crates from the back of grocery stores like we used to back in the day. That's how we got our basketball hoops. Or a 10 speed rim, and you knock all the spokes out.
We got quite the show lined up, fellas. The banter in the group chat has been wilding a little bit. We got a lot of Miami news.
I don't know what all this Miami news y'all think y'all got.
We'll
get there. Good, y'all help me. This fall camp. I really don't, but let's go.
We got some vaccine updates from Florida State.
Definitely.
This is atrocious. This is an absolute travesty. But we'll wait. I ain't gonna jump
we'll
all
get
over
into
that.
the science of all of it, man. Before we get into the show, also my fan base has been going nuts with all this Walter Nolan stuff and just recruiting and NIL stuff in general. I got a fun show, man, lined up. I think it's gonna be dope. A lot of dope conversations. Got a couple of doctors coming on to hang out with us, vibe a little bit. Before we get into all that docket. Cut that out. 3, 2, 1. I'm fumbling. 3, 2, 1. Before we get into all that on the docket, let me do a quick ad read for my man, Brunt Insurance and Financial Services. Be sure to visit bruntinsurance.com for all your insurance needs and all your financial services needs. My man Greg handles life insurance, auto insurance, motorcycle, business insurance, anything you may need insured from the Panhandle to the Keys. Hit my man Greg up at 954-589-2204 or give him a shout out at bruntinsurance.com. Greg, what it do, baby? I gotta let you do it. My bad. All right, man. I guess you want to kick it off, Larry? What you want to do? You want me to start it?
You go ahead, man.
I'll go ahead and start it. Not a whole lot of news. I wanted to get into the camp info. We had our last scrimmage. I think everybody's last scrimmage. We're all the way into camp mode now. Everybody's prepping for week 1. Pause it.
Forgot about Patter.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I just thought
about that. Cut all that out. Damn. 3, 2, 1. All right, fellas. Before we get into Big 3 talk, a lot of big news hit the airwaves. Brian Patter, former defensive tackle at the University of Miami, was murdered back in 2006. And they found pretty much, I don't know if they found, because nobody's proven guilty right now, but they made an arrest in his murder case.
Yeah, this was interesting to me because when the whole Patter thing happened way back, I remember, hearing about it, and obviously it was shocking to our particular fan base. It sounded crazy, but then what even sounded nuttier was the fact that pretty early on, his former teammate, Rashawn Jones, was a suspect. And a lot of signs pointed towards him. He had already threatened to actually shoot Brian. Brian had told his brother, but they didn't really report it any further than that. They had got into a physical altercation, and Brian, being a big fella, he ended up getting the better of that situation anyways. And so I think you then again you have more motive because they're running into each other. I believe I heard allegedly it was about something to do with a young lady or whatever, but that's kind of here nor there. And I remember reading up on it. A little bit. I mean, the bottom line is, young man lost his life senselessly. But it was always interesting to me is that Rashawn had been tied to this thing for a long time. He was interviewed twice by the police, but I guess at that point they didn't feel like they have enough evidence. So I'm happy that, even 15 years later, it was an opportunity for his family, who, to my understanding, had already suspected him of this crime, to have an opportunity to get some sort of closure with this situation.
I think a lot of things, but I do like, what do you think he should have done, like, after the threats were made? Like, of course, like, his life was threatened. I don't want to blame him at all, but what could he have done maybe to, like, take those threats a little bit more serious? I know it's a teammate on your team. I know sometimes people make idle threats, but sometimes you have cases like this where people carry them out. Of course, like, in our culture, we ain't running to the police and say, hey, my life is threatened. What measures could y'all think he could have taken to avoid this?
Try to take it seriously, I think, because I don't think he at any point took it seriously. If he didn't take it, like, to the coaches or something, like, he took it to his brother, and his brother said he begged him to take it further. But I don't think he took it seriously. Although they had said that again with Rashawn, he had threatened to do that. Allegedly had threatened other people with that same exact. I'll shoot you in the head. Like, he specifically said that, and that is how a young man ended up losing his life. But it's tough, like, say you're not blaming him because you don't know how seriously he actually took it in that moment. that's why I try to tell people out here, there's really no such thing as safe. You can only be cautious because you really don't know where danger lurks.
But I mean, his exact term was like just reading old articles because it made me go back and look at the articles from that time a little bit. And the term he used was, you better clip up. They apparently got in a fight before, right?
Yeah.
And he had to lose a fight because whoever loses a fight is damn sure going to be like going to
You
get
better
the
clip up.
Right.
Yeah. But I guess maybe it didn't happen in due time, or I'm not sure how big a gap that was between, you know, the actual physical altercation and the shooting, man. Like I said, man, it's what do you do? How do you protect yourself anymore? You got the drop on him in the parking lot, and he probably even knew who it was at the time and didn't think, you know, that much of the situation. Again, it's speculative. Not exactly sure how that went down, but
yeah, man. I guess the things he could have probably done to try to prevent it. And like I said, not to place any blame anywhere in this situation.
I'm not placing no blame on him at all. I just think sometimes like these threats, we put in like a tough position of how do we take this serious without like going to jail or being considered a snitch or soft. Like you put it in a tough situation.
Right. That's a cultural thing too, you know, coming from you know, where the majority of us come from. But those threats was real specific. It wasn't like, you know, I'm going to kill you, this, that, another. You know, shoot you in the head, you better clip up, whatever it may be. It was real, you know, real specific threats in regards to that. So the best thing he probably could have done is just, you know, told more people, made more people aware of the situation. And even if you did, you know, make more people aware of the situation, if it did come to the end result that it did come to, you know, maybe it wouldn't have took 15 years for us to get to this point.
Right. As a Miami fan, how do you feel, Larry Young? Like, finally, that news hit crazy. So, like, we having a casual day on the timeline flowing with just updates of conference alignment. Of course, it's that time of the year where college football news is heavy. And then all of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, you just get like a former hurricane killed a hurricane. How did that make you feel like as a fan of the program?
I like immediately, man, my jaw just dropped. I remember I opened my phone and I was just, you know, because I try to keep abreast of all of the, you know, Miami news, period. And then I saw that in one of my little timelines I got specifically for that. And immediately I was just like, what? And again, I knew after reading that story, I was shocked that the guy wasn't arrested forever ago. So before I even went and read the new news, I knew it was him. I was like, there's no other way they got anybody else, you know, attached to this thing. So I really, honestly, man, immediately, I've had to deal with, you know, a death of a young man in my family, too. So I understand, like, it feels, it's no true justice, but my heart went out to the family just thinking, man, at least you can point this at somebody and have them serve some sort of punishment for this, because you never get your people back. You know, they'll forever be missing a part of your life. And then, you know, you think about what the potential, you know, they stole from his family. He could have been a guy that helped, you know, break some generational curses.
For sure.
Help uplift his family and bring some new things to the community. So as a Miami fan, like, just that story was wild when it first hit. It was I couldn't believe it when it first hit. And then now to, you know, when it's coming back full circle, again, jaw dropping, but I am very happy for the family that they were at least able to get an arrest made and hopefully a conviction for the right person. If this is the right person, you know, I want that person to have to, you know, face justice.
Like you said, man, it's all about the closure, so to speak, and to bring some type of justice to that family. What also threw me off, man, just seeing that picture, you know.
Oh man,
the picture of right. It's just crazy in hindsight, just seeing the picture of the memorial that, you know, the players had. I don't know if it was post or pregame, you know, during the next game after the situation. You got him right there, just looking dead in his man's face when he's the one allegedly, you know, that put him down. So just seeing that picture was just crazy, just to think about. Yeah, man.
It's a cautious reminder of, like, to me, of like, I don't play the frenemies game. Like, it felt like Jesus knew Judas was gonna kill him. To me, that's wild. Like people keep people around them. They know mean them harm. Like and they want to flex on them a little bit. Like I don't take the frenemy thing. Like get from around me if you don't mean me anywhere. Like we ain't gotta have no beef. But I damn sure don't want you close to me. I'm gonna keep my eye on you a little bit because I don't do the frenemies thing. I also want to know like what took them so long to kind of solve this. Like a lot of this shit is telegraphed. Like I don't know who was investigating this or what resources went into it, but it didn't take a whole lot to figure this out. ESPN did a little digging, and this thing kind of got going. They didn't do basic investigative shit. So
I don't think they cared. Be honest with you. You know, at the end of the day, like I saw like a little press clip, and it's like they patting themselves on the back, you know, for the relentless work. I'm like, would y'all even have done that work if it wasn't a little media exposure on it to say, hey, why ain't y'all solved this Brian Patty case? It seems kind of open and shut, to be honest with you. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, you know, that's something we see in our community all the time, you know, as black men, like, you know, especially if they think another black man did it, well, one taking out another one. Not a big deal to us. We ain't really got to worry about it. We're just going to move on. I really don't think they put the time and care in that because how you interview this guy twice, a witness put him there. Okay. There was an altercation, there's motive, and somehow he's out of there. It doesn't add up to me.
Right. What's also was speaking of like pictures, like CJ's talking about the picture of like the post game, right? Or the next game, him in it. Like I seen the picture of him getting arrested, and he had on a Black Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was nuts too. This guy, I mean, you want to distance yourself. You know what I'm saying? As you want to eliminate yourself as a suspect, you know, but you a person that killed another black man over a scuffle,
over something,
man.
Right? Over something as little as that.
No scuffle. It was over a woman. We keep it a buck.
Well, the scuffle was probably over the woman, but
yeah.
Never do that. Never do that. And leave the D lineman alone.
DBs are like, I can't, like we talked about the Zach Carter Dean situation. DBs got to leave linemen alone.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not a great matchup.
Yeah, just keep it moving.
Rest in peace to the homie Brian Patter. You know, shouts out to the family, condolences, and you know, hope we get some justice. We'll see what the court situation plays like, but it sounds like an open and shut case. I don't know what they found, but just reading the news article, they said they got the right tip. Sound like somebody was about to go to jail and needed, you know what I'm saying, some shit to get out of a situation.
Right, and they end up folding and telling what really happened.
That's what it just feels like to me. I don't think they just got a random tip that just really pulled all this together. People knew shit and needed to get out of the situation, in my opinion. That's just what me far-fetched guessing a little bit. All right, let's jump into the big three talk, man. We can talk about my Gators first. Cam, give me the real quick. You ain't even got to edit this up. Give me the recruits information because I really wasn't even going to try to look for it like that. I got some frustrations to get out about that recruit. Not him himself, but, you know, the department, offensive line crew. But to scrimmage talk, my man Emory had a good day. He was able to scramble around, or he had a couple big runs. So, of course, if he's able to run around, Larry Young, my take kind of ring true. He had one interception.
Cool.
Drop down for 4.
Okay. Hey.
Forced the ball out a little bit. I'm hearing he had a good camp. Hearing Anthony Richardson also had a really good camp. He's looking really good. Emory better be on his A game. I think Emory's going to have a good fall, but he better be on his A game because I'm hearing Anthony Richardson is generational talent. He's that good. Guys like that you don't want to have on the sideline for a very long time. And I'm pretty sure the coaches are kind of chomping at the bit because technically if he could play 1 year next year and leave. And those type of guys you just don't want to have on the bench. I have that same take with my man DeMarcus Bowman. When you have guys like that are just special, like that's like keeping Dalvin Cook on the bench. I don't care how many scenes are there. Get him the ball. He could change games. Like, and if we sit him this year and use him sparingly, like we use him 1 year, a 5-star guy, use him 1 year and he gone. What did you benefit, really? So I think you get these young explosive boys that can play right away. You just got to find a way to get the ball in their hands, not like get too technical where they don't know the playbook.
I ain't gonna lie, when I just saw him just get in one game for y'all, I was like, who is this kid? Like he looks the part, like if nothing else, and then you hear all the buzz from the fans. The fans always want to put the guy in, so I try not to pay too much attention to that. We always think the next best thing on the bench.
I think he's special. I also think Emory is going to be a really good quarterback and put up really good stats. Emory has never shown that he couldn't play. He's been asked to come in situationals times where Trask went out in the game. He came in Auburn and took us down the field, marched us down to get 2 scores, back-to-back possessions. And then Kyle came right back in. He wasn't doing any running plays. He pitched the ball around those series. He came into the LSU game, did some of the same thing. Should have had a touchdown, but we had a drop. So he's made some throws in big moments. So I don't expect him to come out nervous, shaky. He's experienced. He's real chill whenever he's in the game. He just got to come out on point. You know, I think the first game, the very first test is going to be Bama. I like where we stand. You know, like just looking at it.
Exactly.
I like where we stand. I want to see us more with our run game and all that, you know. But I think it's an opportune time to catch Bama. I think we get to see them play y'all in a game. They really got to come out with a game plan. Like we don't have to put no tape out there. Emory don't have a whole lot of tape out there on FAU, USF, those type of programs. We can just do some bullshit real quick. I think they're gonna have to get in their bag and really have a game plan. And you guys also have a mobile quarterback like us. So we can see their game plan versus a mobile quarterback as well and scheme some things. And they come into the swamp. It's loud. They got a young quarterback that's not very experienced on the road. I just think if you're going to be Bama, this is the time. I'm not guaranteeing no win or nothing, but I think that it's an opportune time to maybe knock Bama off. And that type of win would do crazy things for the program right now. So
y'all make it a game again?
No, I think we're going to win.
All right, I like to hear that, man. That's the spirit in which I like to hear my brothers.
I think like we're respected out here. Like we're neighbors a little bit, right, on the ranking right now, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in the spread wise, we're not neighbors at all. But
I mean,
they dropped the spread for the Bama and UF game yet? Or dropped any lines on that?
I think they had. Yeah, I think it's like 9 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
That's cool. I get that.
What the UM is like? The UM one is like what 33, right?
It might be up to 33 now.
No,
they might not cover.
It's 19, I believe, 18 and a half. I want to say something moved a little bit. What would it?
Gotcha.
33, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna talk about Marine trauma in a little bit. Go ahead. We'll get into that.
Other news from camp that I'm hearing: wide receivers are doing their thing. The only running back I'm hearing a whole lot of news from is just Bowman, because, of course, the fans want to see him do some things. He's going against third team, but it's just the activity that I'm seeing looks good. The receivers is making a lot of noise. Jamarcus Weston, the 3-star, 4-star recruit, depending on which site you follow, from Clemson, Florida, he's making a little noise. We all know the Xavier Hendersons and Jacob Copelands of the world, those guys are going to eat. But he's a guy, and Elksness is also a guy. He's been going up top on a few guys from the 5-6-1 in camp, making some noise. Those are guys in the receiving game that I'm hearing making some action. Not hearing anything that should freight me defensive-wise. I'm hearing that we got a solid defense. Our safeties have been kind of picked out. They didn't play in the scrimmage. Our safeties, Trey Dean and Rashad Torrance, are starting safeties. I kind of predicted that. Kyrie Elam is the only defensive back that didn't play. You kind of pick the starters out by who didn't participate in the scrimmage. Kyrie Elam didn't scrimmage. Only thing he did was catch punts. So the other defensive back spots just kind of got rotated. Finding out the other corner is really the mission now. The rest of the depth charts kind of figured itself out. We kind of settled in linebacker-wise, safety-wise. That was a big question. Star position is going to be Travis Johnson. I'm also hearing DeJuan Black is working exclusively at that position now. He was flexing between linebacker and DB. He's working directly at the star, which makes sense because it's like a little tweener position. So you get him to work with both teams. Now he's kind of settled in at the star spot. That's where I'm at camp-wise. No injuries is the most important thing. Injury-free.
That's what's up. All right. Still on Heisman watch for him.
Heisman watch? I think he's in the conversation. I'm not gonna put him on Heisman watch. I ain't talking that crazy.
Okay,
I think he could play his way into that conversation. Just a lot of things depend on that.
Like Trash did, but it didn't pan out at the end. But,
right.
Yeah, I mean, he was there. He was there in the talks. He deserved that much. I give him that much. Siege, you want to go ahead and jump in there, bro? Or?
Yeah, I can definitely.
You got some
recruiting.
I got some recruiting. I got some recruiting. David Connor, 6'6", 270 pounds. When you start off with the weight and shit, y'all know the vibes. When I start off with shit like that.
Yeah, give me a shoe size, bro.
Shoe size. Like about a 13.
Right, you got to dress it up real good.
You got to dress it up. See what features he got that look good on his picture and shit. Broad shoulders. Just like a guy that can really fill out a frame. 6'6", 270. Yeah, for sure. 3-star offensive tackle out of Deerfield Beach. We beat Willie.
Gave y'all a sweat for this one, boy.
Yeah, I was nervous. I was a little nervous. Not gonna lie. Willie's, he's got us in the past.
I told y'all Willie ain't scared to pull up, man.
Yeah, he's gonna lose twice. He lost this one, and he's also gonna lose that first game. But we got an offensive tackle that's pretty much a guy that got to be developed, man. You got to go 3 years. We'll see if he's any good. But this is not a guy that's gonna come in and contribute right away. And to be honest, I think we need offensive tackles that can come in and contribute right away.
Right away?
Next year when they get on campus, I think we need to go after either JUCO guys, transfer portal, or like 5-star guys that could play offensive tackle. I think our offensive tackle depth chart is getting a little shaky.
It's just I ask that because all us follow ball, like it's like so hard to project tackles, and it's such a developmental position. That's the only reason I ask. Because I know like some of the people's like, where's Isaiah? Speaking of Isaiah Washington, I'm like, I really don't want to see him yet. I want to see him get stronger and come in later. We'll talk about him a little bit more as we get into my portion of the show. But yeah, that's the only reason I brought that up. I was just curious. When we put Zion out there against y'all,
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind like developmental guys, right, on the roster. If they're like, but you got to get talented. Like you got to develop all of them. Like whether it's a 5-star or 3-star. I want the more talented guys. Like Bama's proven that like you go get the 5-star offensive tackles, the Leatherwoods of the world. They playing. They're gonna play somewhere, even if they can't play offensive tackle right away. You put them inside, you let them get some, some work, learn the game, learn the whole field. But they got a system, and you gotta get guys like that. You can't get guys that takes forever to develop. They playing as redshirt juniors. They have one good year and they go to the pros, and then they turn pros. And you're like, damn, this guy could actually play. We developed them, but shit, we didn't get no use out of it. It sounds good on message boards of how many players we got in the NFL, but we only got him for a little bit. It took forever to develop him because he was a project. We need to get more polished recruits, guys that have higher ceilings, that can jump on the field earlier, that are bigger. I want guys that are at their peak. I don't care what they do in the pros. I want guys that can play right now.
Yeah, this ain't a pro show, so I feel you on that. You want to fade with Hevesy?
Yeah, Hevesy could be fired. I don't know what the hell they waiting on. I've been fired him personally on State Miguel a few times. Yeah, he's just not getting it done. It's really no excuse for us not to be able to. Like, we're playing the SEC championships, man. Like, we're sending guys left and right to the product is there. We're sending guys to the league.
Hevesy's your Rumpf. That's what it is. He's your Mike Rumpf.
Now, I don't know, like, how Mike Rumpf could recruit as a black man. That's what I'm confused. I get why Hevesy, some players might not want to play for Hevesy. But as a black man from South Florida, he from the 561, why the hell he couldn't get brothers to come play defensive back at a school he played at? I thought it was going to be like DVD.
Yeah. Right. I can't. But they say DVD's a natural. Maybe Rump's just not a natural, man. It's more to recruiting than being black. So
it starts there.
Starts there.
It really does. Like I
see CJ shaking his head. Like it does start with being black.
No, it does, man. But it's crazy how it is night and day from Rump to DVD, man. It's crazy, but it's all about the work you put into.
On paper, it seems like the same thing. A black DB coach that's from South Florida, played at UN, understands the culture, understands youth. This is gonna be a layup.
Yeah,
I mean, it should be. It should be. You got anything else?
I think that's one, man. I want like our stadium, so we're not. Scott Strickland made the announcement that we're not doing any COVID tests, so it's all willy nilly. You just go up in that piece and just vibe.
You going? You going to the swamp this year?
Oh no. I was thinking about it until this news dropped. And I was just like, nah, I think I'm gonna watch this shit from the crib.
And just to kind of
box seats.
And just kind of piggyback off that, and I know it's like a broader topic, with others that's doing it, but it's basically by state, man. And a lot of that shit it's above UF's head, it's above FSU's head. Like that's not Strickland's call, man. I feel like the governor is basically, being I don't want to go too far in that, man, but the governor's basically, saying, hey, man, this is how it has to go, and this is my state universities are definitely going to follow this, or it's going to be some, some strict punishment in the future for it. So you won't see any type of delegations in regards to COVID from any of these state universities, in my opinion.
Do you think even it's contradictory though? Like to tell the players we need 85% to get done. Just anybody come to the stadium and vibe up. But we need y'all to take the vaccine. But whoever else coming to the stadium, they have a vaccine, they test positive. Who gives a shit?
See, that's been like the state, so to speak, don't really have too much to say in the players. So they try to mandate, what they can control. And that's just the state universities itself, and more so just trying to get those 85% vaccinated. Of course, it's how can I put this? You got the money side of it and the business side of it. But at the same time, man, you got these stadiums who's not going to have any mandates, this, that, and other. You should want to get that damn vaccine and try to be, at best the most protected that you can be in the situation, due to the fact that 90%, 90,000 of the fans around you, possibly, we don't know for sure, possibly, no mask, no vaccine, this, that, and other. So that should be another motivational, factor to try to get these cats vaccinated, just to avoid, any, situations per yourself, not just from the possibility of forfeiting games, just from a health standpoint.
Can the governor, I don't think he can mandate the schools on what they could do with the stadium, right? I think that is a decision that comes from the top. No?
Nah, man, because
no, I was just going to say, because at first I was thinking you might have been bugging them. You brought a good point.
State university.
State schools, I was like, yeah, you're right. It probably is.
Private schools have a little bit more leeway, but state university, they can limit, money and this, that, and another. Cause I know at one point, I want to say Dooley had tweeted out that there won't be no tailgates at Florida. And then a couple, right after that, Strickland had to kind of backtrack, said, no, it's fully open or whatever. And I know at one point Florida was trying to have virtual school at one point in time for the first couple of weeks, and then that changed. So I feel like these schools don't really have a say so, man. It's more so the governor, the governor's office, so to speak, making these decisions and making the state schools follow due to the fact that they don't want any backlash from that. But private schools, they can pretty much do what they want.
Miami's a private school. You think Miami gonna do, Larry?
Well, I'll be honest with y'all, man.
Y'all the Sante boys down there. Y'all rocking with baby Trump.
For sure. Okay, whatever. I thought for sure y'all was going to take advantage of this opportunity to make a lame-ass Miami attendance joke. Y'all kind of let me down right there.
No, I'm going to let you rock out. I had it.
You was waiting. So you thought I was. But see, I just Eminem that.
Flow.
See how I 8 Mile that joke? I knew the joke was coming. Okay. Yeah.
And see, you got your jersey on, in your little video. You ready to play.
Think like a predator. You're number one. You know what I mean? Big Nesta vibes. But
so you gonna be non-productive today.
Plug the middle, baby. You already know what it is. But honestly, they're taking a pretty serious approach to this thing from the get-go. Man, it's so hard to say anybody's going to really demand that. I think we'll wait and see a little bit. A few schools have already said, right? If I'm not mistaken.
You get Ohio State, they say faculty and staff, or faculty and student body, they got to take it 100%, or they're going to, I guess, be kicked off. And I guess we kind of get in. Well, we'll just talk about Ohio State. We'll get that in a minute. But go ahead. Ohio State made that announcement. Then, of course, LSU saying that you got to show your card or have a test done within the 72 hours.
Well, I've seen the bootleg cards. They selling the bootleg cards on the net.
Right. They're selling 50 a pop. Man, it's crazy, man. We got it was a doctor that got popped for that, man. It was doing fake vaccine, no, not fake masks. That's what it was in Tallahassee. We had a doctor at the hospital $50 a pop getting doctor's notes for kids not, so they don't have to wear masks at school or whatever. $50 a pop, man.
$50,
right?
Risking his.
12 years of undergrad, medical school, whatever, however long the schooling is or whatever, and all the
Dr.
money
Love,
that
bro. He ain't go to school.
That definitely was Dr. Love, bro.
Right. $50 a pop, bro. Your kid ain't got it. Right. $50 a pop. Your kid
he never stopped
out.
I like that kid. He got ambition.
Shut up, man.
He's going
places. You gotta talk about, man.
All right. We sliding over the dope. Oh, where we at?
Yeah, we saved Miami last. We probably should save that shit. Y'all got a lot to talk about.
We really don't. So I want to see what y'all got to add. So I'll go ahead and pass the torch to CJ.
All right. So as you guys know, man, we like Silk just said, we had the last scrimmage of the of camp, getting ready to go into the Notre Dame prep, and we had a lot of starters, well, a lot of guys and potential starters sit out. But for the guys that did play, Jordan Travis, again, he apparently had himself a good evening throwing the ball down the field, had a couple good runs. He was just consistent. He been consistent all camp. Also, going back on the Milton news that we kind of heard last week about, him not being able to practice and injury issues, this, that, and the other. That was kind of a little bit overblown. He practiced last week. He didn't play in the scrimmage because he's one of those players that Norvell is trying to hold out, just for the simple fact that is, like, if Milton does in fact gets hurt, and it's just basically Jordan Travis, we don't have any confidence in any guys, outside of those two. So it's definitely smart to try to keep, Milton, as healthy as possible and just limit his reps, because he's a veteran, man. He brings to the table. He won a lot of games at UCF, a big time player. He's just one of those savvy vets that don't really have to go through all the grind of camp. DJ Williams, the running back transfer from Auburn.
Real quick. What's your comfort level at quarterback? Like, what's your vibes like?
And it's probably about a 7, man. That's probably about a 7. That's in between both of those guys, because we hear reports that Travis has really gotten a lot better passing the ball. We know what he can bring to the table, running the ball. But his passing has gotten a lot better. Just his familiarity with the offense in general, man. In year 2, it's gotten a lot better. So with him, and you add in McKenzie's arm and the throws he's able to make, and just his knowledge of the game, I feel real confident. Now, if one of those two gets hurt, now we had issues with Travis with the offensive line. Of course, how bad the offensive line has been. We had issues with Travis, and that's just part of him being a smarter player too in regards to running the football. But he got injured some last year too, and we're in a situation where we had to play guys we really didn't want to play. So I would say a 7, just for the simple fact that if we lose one of those two, it could go downhill from there with anybody after those guys.
Who's anybody? Purdy?
Yeah,
Purdy,
so we got Chubba Purdy, the kid from Arizona. He's been inconsistent in camp. He have some good days, some bad days where he threw a lot of interceptions. You have other day where he's moving the offense and running around looking good. And then we got the kid from Valdosta, Tate Rodemaker, excuse me for
Rudemaker.
Rudemaker. But yeah, we got Tate, and I'm not confident in that guy at all. Every time he got into the game last year, he was like a deer in the headlights. So forget that quarterback we had, Sean Mcguire. Was it Sean Mcguire? No, it was JJ Castino that got through into that Houston game when Mcguire got hurt and broke his ankle. Man, the shit went downhill from there. So I feel like every time he gets a chance to play, man, it's like everything goes out of the window. So if we have to resort to any of those two guys, I feel like it'll be a real long season. So keeping those two guys healthy, Jordan and McKenzie, is more important than, in my opinion, trying to get them a whole bunch of reps and grinding out in practice. Man, we got to keep those guys healthy, because the cupboard is very bare after those guys. So again, DJ Williams from Auburn, he had a real nice scrimmage, running with authority. He dropped like 15 pounds since transferring over. Really took off season serious and tried to transform his body. He's going to be a physical runner for us. Again, Corbin, he's been Mr. Consistent so far during camp. Just a jack of all trades, catching the ball, running the ball, been doing some really good things. Jermaine Johnson and Kiara Thomas, those guys are standing out again at defensive end. Transfer from Georgia and South Carolina. Those spots are pretty much locked up.
Then you got the Marshall slap from Big Country leaving.
Yeah, man. With us losing Big Country, that was about 10 sacks as it is coming in, man. So it's gonna be hard to replace those 10 sacks, man. 10 sacks in the mullet, hard to beat.
That damn show's gonna be hard.
That's a T-shirt. We got
right.
trademark that right now. 10 sacks and a mullet.
10 sacks in the mullet, bro. He definitely could have got an NIL deal with that. But yeah,
that shit could have branded that mullet. But what's the vibes? Let's have that conversation real quick. What transpired? That kind of happened like fast and kind of weird.
Yeah, his mom said it was live.
Then he have his mom chime in. Shout out to the moms, man. You know, moms gonna defend their babies all along. But I know she looking at him real crazy now after that tweet because she looking real stupid right now to say the least. But yeah, so it was basically
you gotta run that shit by the peoples though. You just can't be making them type of decisions. I'm leaving a program without talking to your people.
Yeah, you gotta
their mom sit on social media. She's like, hell no, that's not the case. Before you even call them, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely the case. It's been reported by FSU to the media. You need to talk to your boy. But so going back to the situation, it's just like the conversation we were just having about Ohio State University, making this stuff mandatory because it's a big business. As you guys know, if you
making the vaccine mandatory.
Correct.
Right.
As you guys know, if you're not 85% vaccinated, it could be a lot of sanctions in regards to forfeiting games, this, that, and other. If you do have a COVID outbreak and you can't play games due to COVID, so coaches just not trying to tie their jobs to it. Especially, to be blunt, honest, they're not trying to tie their jobs to, especially for Norvell's situation where this season is real critical. Going off for 3 wins and then moving forward, you can't really have the same type of output in forfeit games that you should be winning. So when you have being totally blunt honest, you have a third string guy or a walk-on guy who's kind of refusing to take the vaccine, coaches are not going to risk that guy, so to speak, being the reason why they're fired, because of a COVID outbreak.
The whole team sick for like a mullet, you know what I'm saying? That's all you
exactly.
You're not getting 10 sacks for real. So
right. The only thing again is the mullet and the vibes. Right. So yeah, you ain't trying to risk, losing, forfeiting games just because the mullet doesn't want to get vaccinated. So it's basically
you didn't see the mind forfeiting last year.
Totally, we ain't had a vaccine last year either.
Yeah,
that's true. The rules are different, Larry, and we just explained that.
I'm just saying, Norvell is at no
risk.
We
know how we just kind of went into the whole situation blind last year, and it was just a shit show all around because we had cancellations all over the place with all kind of situations.
Get your mute, bro.
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, going back to Big Country, it was a situation in which, hey, you're gonna either get vaccinated or you're not gonna be a part of the program, and he chose not to get vaccinated and shit. I don't know if he thought these motherfuckers were bluffing or not, but they damn sure pulled the card.
That's wild, though.
He told Norvell, I'm Big Country.
Right, for real.
I'm a brand out here in these streets. What you mean? Hey,
and Norvell told him that you and your mother can get going.
Pack your mullet and get out of here.
Grab a hoodie on the way out.
Right, for real. Well, Willie, you say have a good day if you want to. But yeah, so that was basically the situation. I feel like it's
we might see it happen more. We
might.
More.
I feel like
it's a sliding scale. Like I think like we talk about like sliding scales with kids that get into trouble or arrested, right? Like some kids could get away with more and get accepted back to the program. Suspensions be different, and then some kids just get booted. It depends on how good you are, what they're gonna do.
Right,
with
exactly.
Shit.
You gotta understand where you fit into the grand scheme of things. And damn, I just had a point. I just forgot real quick. Damn, I lost that point. I'll get back to it in a second.
My bad.
Nah, all good. Yeah, I lost that point real quick. My bad. But yeah, it's just the new norm right now, man. Trying to get to these 85%. We want to see it a lot around college football and guys just pushing for that vaccine and trying to get to that threshold. Because you got teams like Bama, they're 100% vaccinated. Saban, their whole mindset is, man, we got to win.
Robots.
Right, man, literally.
Man,
they already took the market piece.
You're right. That man is a balls, 100%.
Y'all boys vaxxed that ass up? Where y'all at with it?
Yeah, I got it. And the reason I got it is because I took a trip to not Barbados. I was initially going to Barbados in June, but I ended up going to Antigua. And they just have strict COVID protocols when you're traveling outside the country because we're the damn leading country when it comes to this stuff. So they don't want that type of stuff, coming to their country. So it was a bunch of tests and all that type of stuff and COVID tests. So in order to avoid that, I got vaccinated.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I get like right now I want like time that like transpire. But when I get ready to travel and I gotta like take it to travel, because I mean I'm not like 100% against vaccine. Like I'm against like the lack of knowledge with the one they just kind of rushed out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little spooky. Other than that, man, if it's somewhere I really want to go and it requires a vaccine, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm not judging anybody that does it for a job. I do things a little crazy in the player situation with this football stuff. Like all of this is kind of like a little tricky and weird to me. For him to get booted for that, like we saying that shit like it's light, but that shit is wild on paper to me. That a kid got booted because of a vaccine, fam.
And you got the kid from Rutgers also. Shiano basically gave them an ultimatum, and he said, "No, I'm in the transfer portal." That's another thing I want to touch on. If you got this portal shit, man, that shit ain't sweet, man. It ain't as kind as it look. You got cats for example, we got a tight end, Alexander Marshall, who was signed with Jimbo, left with Willie in like 2018. That motherfucker's still in the portal.
Jesus Christ.
Still, and he'll tweet every so often some damn practice coach at FSU from catching some balls. Like, bro, that's 3 years ago. These coaches ain't taking chances on that shit. You lose a scholarship at Florida State and end up with nothing. And on top of, with how these COVID protocols are coming, you're not productive as it is. You're not vaccinated, so you're not productive, and it's a possibility that you can risk some wins for us, and not contaminate, but spread throughout the team, or whatever. Man, these coaches ain't taking chances on that shit.
That man got a job.
I get it.
He got a whole job out here, so he just like, hey man. And in the meanwhile, here goes some old Florida State clips.
Right.
It's also yeah, he probably doing that shit from the call center. It's also a reminder that like scholarships aren't guaranteed for 4 years. It's a myth. Like at any point in time, like certain things you got to do to maintain the scholarship and get your ass out of here.
Yeah, you resign that scholarship, and it's usually every year during fall camp, you resign that scholarship, and of course, there's stipulations within that scholarship in order to keep it.
For sure,
big facts.
But yeah, that's pretty much. Excuse me. That's pretty much everything from the FSU point of view. Recruiting, it's kind of quiet like right now. Like I said, last episode, Notre Dame is going to be a big week for visits. So the next pod we should have a lot more recruiting.
You sure y'all want to bring people to that?
Got to, man.
Question before, bro.
I told y'all, man. It's all about the atmosphere, man. It's all about the atmosphere. And just like you said about catching Bama at the right time, I told y'all on the first podcast, I feel like we catching Notre Dame at the perfect time too. Brand new quarterback, new defensive coordinator, brand new offensive line, the glitz and the glamour of a night game, prime time, in Doak, and then Bobby dying and all that type of stuff. It's a build up to it. So now, if you capitalize on the night, it's up to the guys, man. But if you make that shit respectable, and it'd be a good outing as far as the atmosphere, I feel like that could be a plus for us for sure.
I take everything you just said and just say that for Miami. And that's
but I always been a fan of like having recruits at big games. Always been a fan of that, man.
Yeah, you gotta give them that regardless if you get your ass whooped.
Yeah, it's just you hope you don't get your ass whooped. I mean, it worked good for us when we did Notre Dame. So
yeah, real talk, it definitely was good for y'all for that game. But you rather that, or you rather them come for a 12 o'clock UMass game? That type of deal.
Yeah. No, you're right. Nah, you got to get them there for the atmosphere. It's just
I get it.
You got. Everything
you definitely
you said,
playing with house money.
Everything you said is why I'm gonna say we're gonna beat Bama.
No, I'll be honest with y'all, man. They beat y'all week 1 in Dope with a full stadium like that. Like somebody gotta get shot.
Somebody got to. I guess it depends on the score. Yeah, it depends on the score. They can't.
That matters too. Right.
Yeah, you can't go out there and get 21 houses. You know what I'm saying?
So on Bobby's night. What's the spread at? We got an update on the spread.
It dropped to 7. It dropped to 7. Yeah. It was at 9.5 at one point, 7.5, and now it's at 7.
Now that big country gone.
Yeah, about to say this. That slide about to move again.
Yeah, them 10 sacks, man.
Yeah.
10 sacks.
It went down. I don't know why. Like me, I guess because I was thinking also that Milton news was like a little bit more crucial than it really was. But I thought I got the Milton updates from the Twitter folks. I thought maybe that line would go up a little bit. I mean, it's interesting that it's going down because Vegas be knowing shit. So that is interesting.
Yeah, it keep going down for sure. So we'll see how it play out. That's all I got from the FSU point of view, man.
I'm gonna just drop a couple hundred on it though, just in
case. It ain't gonna hurt much.
No, just see what happens. I still believe some things. Larry, let's get your lies off. You wore your jersey and shit. You ready to tackle somebody today? What's up?
Yeah, you already know what it is, man. let's see, Canes camp. Not, same old same. We all going through the same thing. It's fall camp. Nothing really spectacular coming out of there as of right now. Best news we heard was that Manny thinks the defensive tackles and the linebackers are playing a lot better.
You lying. For sure.
I mean, you gotta lie.
You think the linebackers is playing better? What you think?
Do I think they're playing better? Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about Kiara, which is, I mean,
you got one.
Well, no, I mean, I think Flag holds down the other spot. I don't think we're really too worried about him.
Okay.
Like I said, he's put on some good weight. Everything you read about the kid is very instinctive, and I liked him when I saw him play in spots last year. I really did.
Boy, lying his ass off, he froze.
Right.
Wait for him to
he
come
froze
back
completely. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, that boy froze completely.
You call him.
Yo.
You good?
Look like my Wi-Fi dropped. Let me go out there and unplug the box and plug it back in.
All right.
I think it just jumped back on.
All right, we vibing.
I think it did. I'm not really do that to me. Hold on real quick. See if I can get back in there. I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense a lot.
The hell Larry Young got going on? There you go.
Oh, y'all.
Yeah, it just dropped all of a sudden. That's weird. My Wi-Fi don't ever really give me too many issues. Okay, my fault.
Talk about the linebacker.
Oh, he could just he could just edit that part out then. Okay, cool.
For sure.
Get my notes back right back up there. All right. 3, 2, 1. So yeah, I think like the linebacker spot is going to be that much more secure if Kiara is able to truly fill that role. Everything I hear about kids, he got that dog in him. He's instinctive. He's a hard hitter. I mean, he got kicked out for that clean hit against Lawrence. So he shared them tackles. I'm not terribly worried about it. And I wasn't really worried too much about defensive tackle either. My questions come more at the end.
You trust that man to tackle Bama running backs? Shit.
Yeah, I mean, hit him. You hit him. He ain't 150.
How much you weigh?
I'd say 205, 210, somewhere up in there.
Yeah,
a little light,
A little light.
But I mean, hey, you gotta have that silk mentality. You know what I mean? You gotta walk around feeling like you 240.
No, but I was once 240, so
Well, he might once get to 240. He might want to get there too.
I don't want no linebacker on my program wearing 205. That's a little dangerous. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think running backs is gonna run through that shit. To be quite frank with you, Larry Young.
I'm not concerned about the running backs. I'm worried about shedding blocks. I believe he can lay the shot
for sure.
He can lay the. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about him being able. He can hit. The kid can hit. He can tackle. I'm not worried about him in that regard. And
are you concerned about your rotational depth? Like I think like Bama is like them heavy, strong people, and they're gonna be rotating bodies, especially on their defensive line. Are you concerned about your depth and being able to roll out fresh bodies and staying?
At D end is where I'm the most concerned about that. Defensive end, I really think we don't have a lot of depth there this year like we had kind of had in the last couple of years. Unless somebody just jumps out and surprises us. But when you lose a guy like Cam Williams, who was expected to be a major contributor this year. For him to transfer on has hurt a lot. So, yeah, that would be my bigger concern at the end. Yeah. D tackle, I actually think we have a pretty decent rotation in there.
What's up with Nesta? He back in camp?
Yeah, Nesta back. He was running with the tools today, getting reacclimated. I think with Nesta, it was just some therapy type stuff. You know, the media they're only getting like 40 minutes, so they ain't able to report on a lot of stuff. Same thing going on with Zion. Manny said he's going to be ready for game 1. Media said they ain't seen him at all. So, and when you look at the depth charts that we have been able to get, he hasn't been out there and starting in any of them.
CJ, what's your vibe like on that? Like offense, that's an offensive tackle. Zion's supposed to be y'all guy, right?
Yeah.
You're not concerned with him like with lack of reps?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely. Especially it's Bama week. I mean, now, previous, okay, we getting fall camp. We trying to work out things for the entire season. Bama week, absolutely. I need him out there.
Yeah, if we're going to stand any chance,
if we're going to stand any chance, let's be honest, we got to have him. Whether he gets, wherever he gets projected, he is our starter, regardless to his NFL projections. He's our starter at left tackle. I need my starting left tackle ready to go for that game. So I'm a little concerned. At this point, I'm going to trust the coach.
Them boys probably didn't even get a real look in camp with the concerns you're having with depth and this, that, and another. Then you got these boys on game 1 who first off, the first team is going to be coming heavy. Then you got, like you said, the second team, the whole rotation. Those guys are going to be coming, so that can be a little shock, so to speak.
We'll keep tempo going, so that'll help with them subbing in. So that is one of our
scares me is like it's your left tackle, and you got a quarterback that's already coming off an injury. So that's what spooks me if I'm in that position. Like, okay, my guy's anchoring this thing down. He's missing time, and my quarterback's not like really that healthy.
I'm not gonna say he's not healthy. Everything there's been nothing spoken about him.
I'm not gonna say he's unhealthy, but he's coming off of an injury, is what I would say. Like a very serious injury, and we don't really know what he has until he get out there. Right?
Yeah. Again, I gotta take their word. Everything sounds like he looks.
No, great. I ain't taking y'all lie.
No, it's not even that. We know technology is way different now.
Oh, for sure. Sure.
He's a young guy.
But some guys too, like technology, they do bounce back faster, but some guys could push it sometimes. And like Jaden Hill, he's back up out of here, so it could still go. I just think that's like crazy scary.
That's some freaks.
Tackle.
We've seen some freaks bounce back quick. Didn't Percy bounce back real quick off of one? I know Adrian Peterson did. There's some guys that are just AP did it real quick. I thought Percy did too. I may be thinking
that's probably a dab hit.
But so
Percy had the ankle, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I can't remember. I know. I know. I'm thinking. I think
he did a hyperbaric joint like Terrell Owens a little bit.
So yeah, again, they were really confident when he first got hurt, just because they know his mindset, his work ethic, that he was going to attack it head on. So, everything I've seen sound good.
No, I'm not questioning his health. I was just questioning like the health of the offensive tackle, like him not being there is obvious because of health reasons. And
yeah. I'm asking all my prayer warriors to come together, man, and you know what I'm saying? Send up a prayer for Zion, man, and make sure he's there for game 1, for the whole season.
Definitely won't.
Definitely game 1 though. Let's see what else we got.
I do hope he's there for the whole season, but I'm not gonna pray. Is what I'm saying.
You ain't a prayer warrior. I didn't ask you. I asked my prayer warrior. Let's see. Last one, defense was said to win the day. Last scrimmage, so that's good to see them step up some. This was more 1s versus 2s action, so you expect some of that.
Show.
They heard. Hey, listen.
They heard me.
Larry said they're going good, man. Tell them defense won. I respect that. Y'all make me look good out here. And it's also was said that even though the defense kind of won the day, the offense is kind of making some plays when they aren't there, which was encouraging for them to see like just a little bit more on the fly stuff happening, as opposed to if something breaks down, really the entire play breaks down. The only real like position battle we probably sitting there right now, and I'm not even sure how big a position battle it is lead running back. I think Cam probably going to get that. Just being a older
Senior
veteran, yeah, that, and I mean he has been pretty sturdy. Don hasn't even had like a whole bunch of shots, and he's been
what would you say
your
gripe is with Cam? Like I think physically he like looks like he can do everything. He's strong. I don't think he's slow at all, but he's missing something. What do you think he's missing?
I think he's supposedly looking better, so he's missing the key thing that every great running back has to have is your vision. You got to have that vision and anticipation. So if he's improved upon that, just taking that extra time I remember when like I used to play video games back in the day. All right, you play Madden, and the first thing I would do when I get the ball snapped to the running back is hit turbo. And all that do is run you to the back of your line, and you end up getting tackled. And I think that was a little bit of Cam's game. So you got to take that moment. Yeah, you got to let the block set up. You got to give it a moment and not get anxious in that moment.
Well, vision and patience is it's either you have it or you don't.
You can't teach that shit. In my opinion, you just like extra, like you either patient or you can't.
Yeah.
Like it's just certain elements of the running back game.
It just can't be taught. It can't be developed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a feel.
I mean, and if that proves to be the case, then I think Don has definitely showed all of that. But again, it's just some of the nicks and bruises with him because came in that way, and now here we are coming into his second season, and he's still dealing with that stuff. Same thing for Roos. He's a little nicked up right now as well. So, and then starter, how much does that really mean in the end of the game? Because he started most of our games.
Yeah, especially running back,
last year, right? And then you pull him and he didn't get all the snaps. So, let's see. The addition of T-Rob, who some people thought wasn't paying dividends.
Go ahead and lie, bro.
No, what do you mean lie? Y'all said he wasn't getting nobody.
Week 1. Oh, you talking about? You going to recruiting? Go ahead. My bad.
No, yeah, brother's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Y'all try to pile on him, man, but
y'all ranked like 50 something, bro. Relax, man. You start ranking up, then you can brag about the recruiting. But right now,
I'm not even bragging about it. I'm just saying the man's doing what he's supposed to be doing right now. But nah, just him and Simpson.
Shit, he the only one that's carrying the weight in that class, though.
Him and DVD.
Yeah, whole class of DBs.
A lot of them DVDs. Right. DB
we needed them
is okay right now.
He's doing
DB recruiting's okay.
DVD's doing his thing, bro. Get out of here. Just saying, T-Rob and Simpson adding a lot of intensity. Getting these guys. I seen Simpson, grabbing some face mask and all. I like to see that out my D-line coach. Not much else going on.
So you feeling good? You feeling good about that secondary week 1? Let's see how good you really feel about that.
I do feel good about my secondary. I'm not worried. You never right. I feel great about my secondary.
You think Tyreek Stevens isn't gonna be fooled week 1?
I don't even think Tyreek may not start outside week 1.
Whoa. Y'all spend a lot of time
gonna be Couch and Ivy. I mean, but the thing about Stevenson, and I think he's a great athlete, and it's weird because everybody's saying he projects as a safety at the next level. And even when he was at Georgia, he played more nickel. So, we brought him in, but when on our last depth chart, he wasn't the number 1 corner.
Yeah, he's not a corner, man. I think Georgia moved him around a lot too in blitz packages as well. Also, so if y'all playing that man strictly at corner, man, y'all doing him a disservice, in my opinion.
Well,
that's when they got him in the portal with corner.
Yeah, but then, like I said, latest depth chart, he wasn't one. It was Couch and Ivy. So,
but he was listed on depth chart as a corner though.
As a corner as of right now, yeah. Manny's supposed to have been throwing out some crazy new looks too in the secondary as well. So we'll see how some of that. I can't remember all the names they lined up off top, but it was a different kind of mix and match looking back in the secondary. But secondary is the least of my concern. To be honest with you, I'm not worried about the secondary much. Linebacker and DN is where I'm be like,
worried about all that shit. That's probably your strongest part of your defense though, is secondary. But I don't believe in them 2 corners you got. I was thinking maybe Tyreek came in and really got into his own a little bit. But y'all rolling out that same shit y'all already had.
I like Couch. Couch is dog
for sure.
And, yeah, so
you like him. You're a Miami fan.
I mean, I ain't gotta like everybody on the team. I ain't gonna call no kids
I like
out.
the
But
starters though.
I don't like all of them. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Who you don't like that starting?
Zach McLeod. I don't like that guy.
He's starting
Nothing
DN for
against him
y'all?
personally. I don't know. Right now, he ran with the ones on the last practice.
We just know he gonna be on the field.
Yeah.
If they roll him out at DN, man, Bama about 40.
I don't dislike him on a personal level.
Just running right at him.
Starting is definitely ain't gonna make me like you. Sometimes it may make you dislike you. Like I'll be happier with you if you would have a seat somewhere. Yeah, go sit down. Now I love you. You did everything I asked you to do. Cheer.
I feel that.
Yeah, Mark Ripp stopped by. I think he was just doing ACC stuff. Nothing too major there, but he talked to the press for a little bit. Got to see what he did with the indoor practice facilities. Other than that, we added us another Australian punter, which normally wouldn't be news for anybody. But our punting game before this guy was atrocious. So I'm going to hype up Nelson Foley from Australia. I think we got him from that same school.
The dude with all the tattoos that they was typing up on, ain't do too much.
Who? No, he averaged 47.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the second.
I thought you were saying that. No, my bad.
Previous to him, Fiegel's boy, he was really bad at kicking punts.
Okay, I got you.
He was a punter, but ironically, he was not good at punting.
Yeah, he wasn't good at punting.
It was a weird thing. Him and the kicker, Bubba Baxter, they were both kicking footballs, but not very good at it.
We're gonna get to this Avante talk. You ready to talk about Avante?
We can talk. Yeah, about to say we can slide down the tape. We got new uniforms too.
Shout out to Adidas. I'm a 3-stripe guy.
Yeah,
I don't vote none of that orange and green shit, but shout out to Adidas.
Dude. Orange and green is on all y'all stuff.
There's maybe sprinkles of green accidentally, but that's not a part
gator.
of our color.
It's a whole gator. Cause she's big right now, bro.
No, that's not a part of. We're orange and blue, fam. We're not orange, blue, and green.
Y'all orange, blue, and green. It's a gator.
No, we're not. All right, whatever.
I can see. I got eyes.
Let's talk about Avante.
CJ, do you see green in there?
The gator is green.
I mean, how can you not be green? Whatever. All right, dog.
Grab every color of the ibis and say all that color.
Yeah, white, orange, and green. Those are school colors. You're right. Yes, that's it. But Tay Case. Well, everybody knows Tay got kicked off team for a domestic violence dispute. The charges were dropped, and he did enter the portal, but everything, to my understanding, is his lawyer is working on getting him back at the school. Manny said they're waiting on the proper paperwork to make sure.
Paperwork you waiting on?
I guess the
big ways giving the okay.
Actual documentation. We'll know what he said. Right? What he actually said was, we're waiting for the decision makers to make decisions. Right. So basically saying, I ain't, because the truth of this story
it's above his little. How much y'all paying? About $500K. I know y'all can't carry too much more, so I guess it's above his pay grade, right?
We talking about pay grade? Didn't your coach get money back?
Yeah, they throw it to other places.
Cause y'all ain't got none, Jack. What you talking about, man?
They throw it to other coaches.
You're not gonna talk about no money with us. You're not gonna talk about money with us.
We ain't want to get on no. We know
my coach make more than your coach. I bet you my coach make more than your coach.
No, he don't.
He should.
Y'all got Manny for pennies, bro.
Okay, whatever. I bet you make more than
Manny on the Temple deal.
Okay.
How much Manny making? He making about 800.
All right. Anyways,
he tried.
I ain't pocket watching, bro. I ain't pocket watching, but I know
800 is definitely like defensive. Like
that's fade talk. I ain't even trying to see because CJ getting disrespectful.
No, go ahead. No, my bad. Go ahead.
But so basically, it's gonna come down to if they believe his story. I'm be honest with you.
I don't
believe the story. I don't believe the story. You don't believe it?
No, I don't need because then she had actual bruises and stuff, right?
She had bruises, dog.
And they said she the one who recanted and wouldn't talk. So you know how that shit goes.
Yeah, it's a domestic. And anytime it's a domestic, I'm gonna tell you right now, law enforcement, somebody going to jail because they ain't coming out there for nothing. Every time they basically make you pick.
Yeah.
Which one of y'all going to jail?
Yep.
Right.
We don't came out here.
Yeah, my thing is like Miami is in a difficult spot. I know they want to help the kid, and none of this is anything against Tay.
Mm-hmm.
But the climate nowadays,
the way this shit is reading, like the state ain't saying we dropping this because this isn't like,
lack of evidence.
They're dropping because the women won't cooperate, and then you just gotta consider like women, like the battered syndrome and and all of those type of things. Like this is thing that the women that have been beat or abused do. They don't press or they stop communicating and the state can still press without her cooperation, but of course they don't have enough and it ain't worth prosecuting.
It's not right.
Yeah, if she's not trying to like, help herself. So I think Miami got to take that into consideration. She had bruises on her. Now they're saying that those bruises came from moving boxes. What
and she's 30 weeks pregnant, right?
Yeah, like what are we talking about here?
Right, story not adding up.
It don't sound good, and I'll be honest with you. Like you say, all of those things when you add that up, I don't see them being reinstated personally. And part of you, like you say, helping them. Sometimes helping a kid. Matter of fact, Mark Rick said that sometimes the help is to put you out the program because you need to understand that, bro, you really blew it. It ain't over.
But and then also he went on Twitter and shit talking about made a damn tweet talking about false reports and guys being victims or some shit. Like, bro, just shut up and let the shit play out.
Just let it play. Yeah, just let it play. And he could be telling the truth, but it's just what a part of that is too.
It don't sound like the truth to me. I'm not calling him a liar.
No. Yeah, exactly.
It don't sound like the truth to me. Like I even got a story from him to be honest to say he's telling a lie. But the way shit played out and the way that like this shit is being like kind of resolved and shut down, don't say to me this person's innocent.
Right.
And that's basically what he was saying in his tweet. The truth finally coming out or whatever he said. I guess we'll pull it up if need be, but he was basically painting himself as, the victim in a situation.
And another part.
Yeah, he needs some PR. He shouldn't have been saying shit at that time.
Right.
Another part of that help, like I said again, help is making them understand the consequences of all your decisions. You know what I mean? Young man's out here moving around. This would be his third child. And he's a young dude. This guy started being like, "Hey man, are you really thinking about your total future?
Right.
Who are you associating with? Why did she file this fake report if that's what it is? Like, watch how you moving because all of these things can ultimately be your downfall. So, like I say, sometimes that help is, hey man, we're gonna let you get a fresh start somewhere else. Go ahead, but know that you're going to get this second chance, but you may not get that third. Somebody will take the risk on him because he's a talented kid. He was definitely going to play a big role for us this year if he was to be on the team. But yeah, you ask me, I don't think so. I think they're just going to say not worth the risk. Because what if 6 months down the road we hear again?
Which is definitely possible.
Right.
I think it was a rough week for this to drop too for him with the paddle news. So much going on. Like I think it was a bad time of like you got just that news was devastating. I think it was a bad time. I think it could have dropped a different time. It would have been a different effect. But that type of negative news, UM violence, them bringing up them old clips and shit. I think that was bad timing for like him to try to like get reinstated. All these programs are concerned about their PR and what that logo looked like and what it's been talked about.
But yeah, that's about all I got on that. I mean, we'll see how it shake out. My gut says no. I don't think he'll be with the team this year. Best of luck to him either way, though. And then Smoke
sent some information in the group chat.
What you got there?
The Dolphins and Hurricanes are requiring fans to be vaccinated. Shout out to producer Smoke, bringing us some smoke.
Super producer, my boy. Okay, all right. Well, there you have it. So.
Yeah, man, the private institution they can
operate a little different. Yeah. Well, I might go to a game then. I'm vaxxed, so I might slide to a game this year. I hadn't made up my mind.
Also, man, that can also bar well with y'all attendance excuse. Also, man, so we ain't really got to blame attendance on just the lack of attendance this year. We could use it on the COVID protocols.
And I gave you that joke ages ago. You can't pull it out now. It's too late. I stumped that joke out a while back. I know y'all.
No, we know which way y'all was going, so this was the perfect time to throw it back out there. Now that we know.
Y'all can't joke about attendance.
You just get the bootleg card, bro. Like,
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Right. Like, what are we talking?
You still might mask up too, though. Yeah, ain't nobody saying you can't wear a mask whether these people got vaccinations or not. You want to get into the I guess real quick, sports, was it Sports Illustrated? No, ESPN. ESPN dropped 100 college players. We got one in with De'Aaron King at 36. So that was pretty cool.
Guy in there? We gotta have
y'all got two. Y'all had two. You had Elam at number 40, and you had Cox at number 59. And Florida State had okay. Yeah. Hold on, I think some Florida State didn't have nobody. I didn't.
Man,
I was checking the numbers.
200 is a problem, man.
I was checking the numbers. Okay,
they got King rated higher than they think he does. Like they really hyping this shit.
There's a lot of quarterbacks over him though. No, I can't. I mean, off the number one was Rattler. The quarterback from Sam Howell was like 5.
I get the ranking though. It's just based on college. It's not like
That's not a projection. I don't think. Yeah, they're just talking about guys they expect to have big impacts on this year.
Yeah, he's important in Miami.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I like a backup.
Tall task for a small guy, but
I like what you did there. I guess you want to get a little bit into the Sam Brooks, Isaiah Washington tweets.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think? You want to read the tweets?
Let's see. I do not
have Isaiah Washington and
you got it.
I don't have it readily handy. Could grab it. Should have had it.
Yeah,
I figured you're the Miami guy. You'd be prepared to have, you know what I'm saying, this type of thing.
My bad.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
I mean, I figured we get the gist of it. Either way, I can't find it right off the top of my head right now. I know Sam Brooks was. I'm gonna paraphrase him because I mean, the point will be made one way or the other. He said, "I'm in a dark place right now, but I'm really fighting hard." Essentially, is what he said. That, to my understanding, is probably linked to the fact that the young man has been injured, kind of, for a while now, and he's just frustrated that his body isn't responding like he wants it to. I think he's still dealing with a foot thing, and feet can be real difficult. Period. So that's part of it. And then Isaiah Washington, he came out and said he was a monster. He's really depressed. He hurts everyone that he loves around him. I believe he even said he was suicidal in it.
Suicidal.
And part of me didn't want to read that one out because that was tough. That was tough for me to digest. Period. As a person that has to, I've definitely deal with mental health issues for a large part of my life. Really, honestly, probably since my teenage years. So I can relate to these young men, man. There's a lot of stuff that, especially as you're younger, seems a lot bigger than it may be in the whole scheme of things, right? So, and you keep in mind too, these young men in particular are under a lot of pressure, man. Especially playing on a big stage like that. Oftentimes in your own, your backyard. So you got people all around the city and your peer groups. Saying, hey, man, when you gonna get out there? What's going on with you? And then there's their own expectation that they set for themselves. So that all that rolled in together can lead to a lot of mental health issues where your anxiety is through the roof, leads to depression, and then you get these type of tweets out there. So hopefully they're getting the help they need. I know someone advocated for Isaiah in particular, saying he is getting help. And that is part of the reason I believe he hasn't been around the team. But I think they were just keeping that under wraps to protect him. He kind of took the anonymity away and by sending that tweet out. But again, that shows you where he's at. So, like I said, positive vibes to those two young brothers. And anybody else out there dealing with that stuff, man, don't be afraid to get any type of counseling. Counseling definitely helps a lot. And, don't shy away from medication. It's just something to help get yourself together. And medication doesn't necessarily mean some pill you popping. You know what I'm saying? Cannabis is a medicine too. It's getting out there more and more. They're understanding the benefits more and more. So get the help you need, man. It all starts in the brain.
I think it's dope that he at least, I don't take dope. I'm glad he at least tweeted some out, right? When I woke up and I seen that shit tweeted, I was just like, that shit hit me too, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little I don't know if it's humbling, but it takes a lot for somebody to tweet some shit like that.
Vulnerability.
In my mind, yeah,
especially in our community, that's that much tougher.
It's definitely a cry for help. You know what I'm saying? And I know people. I dealt with like friends committing suicide when I was a young man in like middle school. So like it's surprising when it happens, just out of the blue, and you don't see it coming. So I'm just glad he was on social media. I know we don't like a lot of things these kids do on social media, but I'm glad he at least said something on social media. His mom came out and said he's getting the help he needs. So prayers up to the kid, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. And that's a tough situation. I feel like, and Larry, you kind of touched on it a little bit, man. These kids go through a lot, all together, and I feel like every school should have psychiatrists for these kids. You know, every school should have that type of outlet for these schools. I know specifically for Clemson, they I know specifically for Clemson, they have a psychiatrist in which the players, have free reign to talk to the psychiatrist and go in whenever they want to, whenever they have issues or whatnot. So if every school have that, I feel like it'll be in a better place. It'll be a better situation for the players, just because that type of outlet is needed. And you could be going through a lot, whether it's academically, ball, which could be a lot also in your personal life. So these kids definitely have a lot going on, and even with injuries, like you just discussed with Brooks, Larry, and this from personal experience myself, playing ball at Cookman, I sprained my ankle going into my sophomore year. High ankle sprain or whatnot. Ankle still swollen to this day. But after the rehab process, this, that, another, like mentally, I wasn't there. It was still like a block in my head from the injury. And I didn't really realize that until years later, kind of talking to my boys about it. Like it was a point where I couldn't even, I was scared, so to speak, to even contesting at jump balls and high point balls and just trying to, jump in regards to just out of fear of landing on my ankle.
Right.
Not really knowing it.
Right. Yeah.
Not really knowing it or whatnot, but I had that mental block in my head. So if I had a therapist at that point to kind of walk me through and get through that, I could have got through the injury or whatever and being able to perform how I wanted to perform. And like I said, it wasn't even me. I didn't even know I had the damn block in my head in regards to, attacking the ball and
right.
making those jump ball plays, just because that's how I got injured in the first place, coming down on the bad ankle on the jump ball. So those type of things definitely, it's issues that happen that aren't really talked about enough in regards to the situation. So you can be cleared physically from the injury, but the mental part of it too. And we kind of touched on that with the special guest. The mental part of it can also be a challenge also. But yeah, so having therapists is definitely something that college athletes should have. And I feel like these universities should make that ready and accessible for these young men, because, if you don't talk about your issues, man, nobody's going to know about them.
Yeah, I know we got a sports psychologist because I remember DJ Dallas going to him when he had some fumble issues. I don't know I would imagine though, if they got a sports psychologist, I imagine they'd have just another type of regular clinical psychologist available to them as well. I'd imagine.
I think there should be some type of protocol where they have to go do that stuff, because like some of these young boys are not going to use it, even if they got those resources.
Right? Yeah, it should be mandatory.
It should be mandatory is what I think should happen. Do you think? Because what I had proposed to me, a cool question is like, yes, mental health, but do we ever see this issue as far as like the tweets going out, frustration? It usually come from guys that are not playing.
And that could be enough. That goes into the mental health part of it too. Right. A lot of these kids, they come, they're the man, so to speak. Being highly ranked, this, that, another, and to go to a university where everyone else is highly ranked, you basically start from scratch and starting all over. Man, that shit can be a shock to your mental also. It's a process that you got to get ego up. Right. Yeah, it can fuck your ego up for sure, because you're already built up so high by being this high profile recruit, and nowadays social media is taking that to another level.
Right.
So that should be another conversation that guys should have. When coming from those ranks into the college ranks, and even if you're not playing, and you got guys that feel like, hey, I should be starting over this damn guy, just off the strength of it or whatever. So yeah, that's another mental health battle, so to speak, is the not playing side of it, and how do you react towards that?
Right.
Yeah, you dealing with the guys that, Isaiah Washington, I know he saw some of the jokes out there about his weight not being up. You know, we don't think about that when people make, you know, it's all in the rivalry fund.
Right.
These kids read all of this stuff, you know, so when
that.
that kind of stuff happens, you know, maybe he's dealing with something physical. We don't know. That may be blocking them from gaining weight. You know, again, like I said with Brooks, the foot ain't healing. You know, so now it's like, man, I'm so frustrated because I feel like I could contribute at a high level, but here I am. My body just won't give me what I needed to do. I like your idea though, man. Mandatory, maybe even just like monthly, just a little check. Just
I do like what you like what you were saying as well, like because I had to have that, like, you know what I'm saying, start looking at this from a different angle as well, because we all growing, we all evolving, right? So me watching Osaka and Simone Biles, or even just over the past years, like I think Kyrie Irving deal with a lot of that as well. Seeing him speak to the media about like his mental health and like how fans approach him and say certain things, it started making me look at like the shit we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so when I seen that shit, that's why I just get a kid encouraging words like, yo, man, one day at a time, because like you said, that shit affect these kids, bro. Like we get our jokes off and shit, but they people and shit. So we gotta be considerate of that. That's why I don't like to get into the trolling and shit like that no more. You know what I'm saying? You learn, you grow, you move away from certain things, bro. And you know what I'm saying? You know better, you do better. So I try to vibe away from that, like the jokes and shit about the physical parts of people and shit like that. I want to get my jokes off. I can do it in a more articulate way.
Right.
I'm witty and smart. You gotta be cognizant of what you're saying, and you know and what it could lead to. Because like you said, these kids, and even if you don't at the kid, which nobody really do, they search the damn names.
Yeah, they know what's up.
And fans send the tweets to them, and I mean, it gets back to them at the end of the day, so to speak.
Yeah, right. They're kids, and they're kids. You know, they're 17, 18 years old, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, for sure.
You ain't fully developed, they say, I think, in what, 25?
I'm still joking at mullets and shit like that, though.
Yeah. That was a choice.
Mullet joke definitely gonna fly.
Yeah, you did that to yourself. You thought that was a good idea. Yeah, that's gonna go. Anyways, I think that about it for Miami talk, man.
That's what's up. We got some special guests. I want to hang out with somebody. We're talking about mental health, so let's hang out with our special guests. Catch some vibes and have an articulate conversation about, you know, mental health, the game, us and life and all that. Let's vibe. Let's plug in the interview right there, Cam. Coming out of the interview, I guess we can talk ACC alignment. Y'all ready?
Yeah. And we ain't even got to worry about the LSU mask. I guess we kind of went over.
Yeah, we already kind of covered that type of shit.
Yeah.
Cam still in?
Yeah, he hear me.
Oh, okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, that was a dope interview, fellas. Let's go ahead and get to the rest of this docket. Getting kind of late. I don't want to hold y'all boys up too late. The ACC got some aligning.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. You ain't feeling it?
Hell no, man.
That was an hour-long horseshit session. I sat and watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I took this shit seriously. I'm like, yo,
get back, bro.
I'm a part. Exactly. I said,
what did I miss?
The roll up now. You ain't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing, man. Right. All they did is tell us, they sat there for an hour and danced around the fact that there's nothing even really concrete on paper. There's nothing.
Nothing was signed. It was a fucking gentleman's handshake.
A gentleman's agreement. So they took the time to tell us.
What?
Right. No, nothing signed, nothing formal on paper, bro. It's just handshakes.
Yeah.
Me taking your word for it.
Somebody said, well, what's the
shade tree shit y'all got going on?
No, this is the goofiest shit. I was like,
promotion like a motherfucker, man.
And you know, sometimes when you feel like, okay, terminology, you know, like we just spoke with the guest, sometimes you have to dumb it down for people, right? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe they use some terminology I'm not quite familiar with. So maybe I'm missing something, because I sure sound like I'm sitting here and these motherfuckers just said, yeah, we just said we're gonna vibe with each other and like we're gonna schedule each other in the future in like 5 years, right? But it's no new conference, it's not a new super conference, it's
no new TV money.
What?
Nothing is changing other than they saying we're gonna schedule each other more. That's really the only thing that they said out of that whole fucking thing. Because
who the fuck is in charge of this shit show?
Man.
Nobody.
Again, man, that just shows you, man. Like you got the SEC is damn varsity, and everybody else is just fucking JV, man.
Yeah. They Did y'all see that Avengers clip?
That shit was hilarious.
That shit had me crying, bro. That dude said he spent way too much time on it, but I'm gonna applaud you, man. You know who you are.
Because they ain't even got no news.
It is hilarious. That was great work.
For sure.
We'll tweet it out from the Rollup account for y'all.
Do you think that you should you like how late Miami got rolled out into that shit? And y'all jumped out somebody's palm and all that?
Oh, we was good because we was Hulk. My heart was beating through my chest. I was like, man, who we gonna be? Who we gonna be? And I was like, oh, thank God, Hulk. I can live with Hulk, bro. They got Bucky.
Right.
Yeah,
Bucky,
y'all got Winter Soldier.
Right, bro. They give Clemson Cap. Man, get the fuck out of here.
They gotta be Cap.
Yeah, right now they gotta be.
Yeah, they gotta be Cap.
But nah, man, that whole alliance is just.
It was horseshit. They just set up there and told us nothing.
Right, literally nothing, man. We could have kept the same. Like, I'm just begging that the SEC come calling that Florida State go calling that the SEC, man, because these other cats then they don't move the needle, man. They don't move it at all.
Y'all can't bring that shit to the SEC right now.
They don't want us there.
Y'all
they don't want us over there.
Well, I don't think y'all want to join this shit. This shit,
yes, we do.
Crazy over here. No,
why we do? Yes, we do.
I want it because of the TV.
Because y'all ain't been great since y'all left the fucking Big East, Larry.
It's all about the money.
Look at Texas A&M. They program is immediately improved.
What the hell they got to do with y'all?
They
got different type of bread over there at Texas A&M.
Well, we got some money.
Y'all ain't got no oil money like that, B. Like,
damn, we ain't got no oil money. We got cocaine money.
Yeah, you got
y'all need more cocaine. Y'all got crack money.
Get out of here. City
crack money right now.
You know, Billy told us trickle down Reaganomics working.
But y'all more Opalaka than
South Beach right now, huh?
Yeah, they're South Beach for sure.
What you joining in for? You can't even afford to fire your coach. Y'all talking about us firing our coach. You talking about
we definitely can't afford to fire our coach.
Yeah, so why you lied and said that man had to have a good season? You lied. That man did not got to have a good season.
He ain't got to have shit.
He bought for a couple more years.
I guess he good, but that ain't the fact that we broke. That's just mismanagement of the money.
That mean you broke, dog. You know what I'm saying? If you got, let me tell you something. If you got $50 million in the bank, but you got $100 million in bills, you broke. So hey, mismanagement, block my ass.
It's not, because I ain't got to pay the bills.
You broke, dog. Right. Yeah, it is. They coming for you when they know you got that 50 in the bank because everybody want their part.
The main reason I wanted to the SEC is just the money. That TV money. That's just a game changer.
No, and I mean, it is risky. Don't get me wrong.
And I feel like if we would have actually did some shit with the damn Big Ten and Pac-12 with the heavy hitters, it could have brought some damn TV money. But them motherfuckers was damn dick jerking at the damn table. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
Well, I ain't see that portion. I'm glad I
close my eyes for that part. Like everybody in the rest of the world is just this goofy. I think that's dope. I'm glad y'all ain't really got no plan. Y'all just fucking just pissing in the wind right now. That's magnificent.
Y'all want to come to the ACC?
Oh no.
Why not? Y'all are dominated, right?
Oh yeah, we'll kill that shit. But we
got not? Then you have a free ride like Clemson.
We got real traditions and shit over here. We got to adhere to.
You know better than that.
Y'all from the Big East.
Okay.
We're gonna have a conversation about it. Y'all ain't doing shit since leaving that weak ass conference. Like we gotta have that conversation as well. Yeah,
nobody wants to hear that shit.
And the crazy part is y'all got to put into the weak part of the ACC as well, but that's a different conversation.
Ain't nobody walking around.
So y'all don't come to the SEC champs. Y'all turn into Vanderbilt or some shit.
Okay, well that's fine. I'd rather find out that way.
Good at baseball.
I'd rather find out that way.
Let's talk a little NFL talk before we get up out of here, fellas.
Let's go.
All right. Before we do that, let me give a shout out to my man Spencer's and the great folks at Spencer'sJerkyJerky.com, the best of the best, and slinging that meat. My man slinging that meat from Belgrade to New Zealand, from New Zealand all the way back to Tallahassee. Y'all know the vibes. Use coupon code Big Meat at checkout for 10% off of your shipping. Spence, what it do?
Big Meat. I need a Big Meat shirt, Spence. Come on.
Yeah, for real.
I'm Big Meat on this show.
Bro, I wore that shirt to my son's flag football game. Everybody looking at me nuts. I was like, I didn't know why until I got home and looked in the mirror. I was like, that's why everybody's looking at me crazy.
I got a shirt like that says fucking Southern. And it looks like Leonard Skinner, though. So I always forget.
What the hell you doing with a Leonard Skinner shirt?
I live in the South. And you know that's trendy. Like, oh, my niece and them wear rock and roll
like
shirts.
Racist as shit, ain't he?
No, that's a band.
Yeah, it's like racist as shit, ain't it?
No, I don't think so. And either way, it's not Leonard Skinner. It's just stylized like that. The letters are stylized.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
I thought like Leonard Skinner was like racist or some shit. I'm sorry.
They might be. I don't know.
One of my
I
white
never
friends
broke
told me
down.
that.
I never did a lyrical breakdown on Leonard Skinner, but I will get to the bottom of this.
I won't.
Anyways, I know you won't because you ain't do your Yellow Wolf assignment, but that's another show.
I'm not listening to no goddamn Yellow Wolf. Just you ever ask me to listen to that shit again?
We're not gonna do this again on this show. Go ahead, man. What you got for the NFL?
All right, I think the starting quarterback's already kind of dropped. I had us predicting the starting quarterback. I think they already said Teddy Bridgewater starting over Drew Lock.
Yeah, most of that dropped today.
Yeah, Teddy got
Jameis
it.
is starting?
No, they ain't dropped
they ain't
Jameis
said
and
that one
Taysom yet.
Who y'all got?
You got of course it's gonna be it should be Jameis, especially after how he was dealing his last preseason game. Taysom just ain't it, man. It's crazy how Sean Payton got this damn crazy fixation trying to make this man something he's not. He's just not that type of quarterback.
They gotta make Jameis a starter. He like talking proper and shit now.
Man, Jameis thought the best damn job interview ever, man. He put on all types of damn hats and this, that, and other suits, dressing up for this interview. Man was talking stuff he ain't never. I've been hearing Jameis talk since about 2011, 2012. I never heard that man talk like that.
He sound polished. Do you think he can turn around his career?
I think he can because of the situation. I feel like Sean Payton is an amazing damn coach. And Sean Payton made a damn quote the other day, kind of throwing a shot at your boy, man, the Bucs head coach. I'm saying if you got a guy that's throwing 30 interceptions, man, that's on the play caller as well. I feel like the Saints got a pretty good offensive line, good running game. Sean Payton is a mastermind with calling the plays, and he got some pretty good receivers. Just a good system, so to speak. A lot more help for Jameis than when he was with the Bucs, where it's mostly just kind of Jameis doing everything and him making those mistakes doing everything. And I feel like the Bucs learned from that situation and Jameis learned from that situation. Hell, the Bucs, when they got the damn GOAT, and after they got the GOAT, they started giving the GOAT everything he needed to win. And Jameis had a year under Drew Brees and a year under Sean Payton just to kind of get some things honed down in the I guess fresh start, so to speak.
What did they give Brady?
You said what now?
What did they give Brady? He
shit,
pretty much swapped in.
Nah, man, they drafted the tackle Ertz or whatever the guy from Iowa.
Yeah, he panned out well.
Yeah, they got him top 5. They went and got a bunch of running backs. When they got AB, when they got Gronk. I mean, they just bulked up some of the issues that they had because Jameis never really had a good running game. He had good receivers, of course, but they had some drop issues. The tight end from Bama that the Bucs drafted over Dalvin.
OJ.
The 4-4 guy. I forgot his damn name. He hasn't panned out at all.
OJ something. But I mean
OJ Howard.
AB Howard, yeah. AB ain't really, he wasn't that integral this season, and neither was Gronk
really
into the Super Bowl. Yeah, to the very at the end, yeah.
Because remember he had a suspension for like 8 games or so.
Yeah, and Gronk, same thing. Like he kind of came through in the clutch. I mean, I'm not
even netballed in the playoffs, but yeah, I just feel like it's just a better team overall.
All right,
maybe I don't know. I don't think. I mean, my knock on Jameis when he was coming,
I think he was a great play caller. Like if there's a time to do it, he got to do that shit now. Like Payne can dial it up a little bit. The opportunity is gonna be there.
Because my knock on Jameis coming out was like, how does dude going number 1 with 18 interceptions?
Oh yeah, he had the same issues at Florida State trying to force
right.
Too much, trying to do too much.
Lot. Right.
But again, it was kind of like the same situation because that year, only people he had to throw to, so to speak, was Rashad Green and Nick O'Leary. The rest of it was pretty much true freshman guys. We had Travis Rudolph and Erman Lane out of, catching balls. So it was another situation of him trying to do too much. And as a result of that shit, he had all those turnovers or whatever.
We'll see. I'm rooting for the brother. I'm gonna say Taysom is gonna be the starter. But I don't think it'll end that way. I do think Jameis is gonna end up taking it from him. But for some reason, like you said, I think he loved that guy for some reason.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sean Payton just have a fixation over this guy for it. I don't know if you want to prove the world that he's a damn, football maniac, which we kind of know that. But to try to make this guy a every down NFL starter is crazy. Just keep the same situational packages that you had for him with when Drew Brees was the quarterback.
Word. Who else we got left there?
They announced Justin Fields and Andy Dalton's.
Yeah, they say Dalton's going to basically start game 1. Justin Fields got the last preseason game.
I don't mind that for Fields. Like chill for a little bit, let him go out there, be a crash dummy a few games, get his head bashed in.
By game 6, it'll be Fields.
Right.
Yeah. Then you got Cam Newton and Mac Jones. They haven't announced yet. Cam balled the last preseason game, but Cam going into that little COVID protocol, whatever. He's missing the last 5 days. Could open the window for Mac Jones. But I think Cam has something to prove this year, so I'll probably give him the nod for week 1.
Yeah, Cam going to start. I think they'll give Mac that opportunity to sit from the sideline for a little bit.
How long's the leash for Cam?
That been short, bro.
Relatively short, yeah, because I think they like Mac.
Short.
Relatively short. I mean, I don't think he has one bad game. Because that ain't Belichick. Like, if he goes out there and, kind of lays an egg one game, I don't think it'll be that. But if he goes out the next game and starts looking shitty again, then he'll pull him. He'll pull him in game.
Yeah, if it's about week 8 or 9 and it's been a consistent flow, then we can probably see a change around there.
Right.
Any other ones left? I know they announced Trevor.
Trey Lance and Jimmy G. I don't think that's been announced yet.
Nah, we gonna roll with Jimmy. Trey not gonna start.
You got the insider heat.
I mean, you know me, finger on the pulse, baby. I will say Trey won't play because we do have a playoff team once we're healthy again. So
yes,
they really
I feel like
Trey
gives y'all a better, like straight from a talent standpoint. Of course, I think Trey's better because he stretches the field for y'all more, man. But Jimmy, he has that experience, so we'll see how it play out.
Kind of like it's kind of the Alex Smith thing again. Like,
how y'all feel about y'all pro team?
Super Bowl again, man.
Yeah, the Ravens, my team, man. I like what the Ravens did this offseason.
Damn, I need my old co-host back. The Dolphins are something
trash out there.
What else? Man, fucking Jags, man. Yeah, but y'all got some legit franchises here.
Yeah, man. The Ravens usually typically do stuff the right way. I feel like they addressed the biggest need, which was get Lamar some more weapons. We went and brought in Sammy Watkins. We went and drafted your boy from Minnesota with our first round pick.
I forgot Bateman.
Rashad Bateman, real good guy. And drafted some other guys. The kid from what's the kid? I think he went on top of y'all a couple of times in that bowl game from Oklahoma State. Big receiver.
Oh, now he pulled out the game, I think.
Okay.
After he saw De'Aaron get hurt, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name right now either. He was the one. I like that kid because he was playing, and then De'Aaron got hurt, and
he said, "No, fuck that."
And the next day we came back from commercial. Brother put his baseball hat on. He was just playing on the sidelines.
I like how you roll.
Yeah, I was rocking
with money to worry about.
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember that.
Sometimes God send you a message. Let me
go ahead and pull this out, cuz I'm out.
Yeah, right, it's like seeing somebody else like money get snatched at the casino.
Yeah,
right.
I've been playing blackjack and somebody else lose their shit. A lot of this shit. I'm like, you know what? Let me go into my room and vibe a little bit.
Man, I'm up 300.
Let me chill.
Let's go.
Maybe I am tired. Get up out of here. I do have a life coach question. We're gonna do this life coach question, then we get up out of here. I'm 23 years old. I've been dating my girl for 3 years. It started off great, and I made some promises I don't believe I can keep.
Oh boy,
and that's what he fucked up at.
Right.
He said, "How do you break up with a girl you've been promising to ride or die with forever?"
Man, just gotta let her know, man. First of all, you shouldn't be making the promises like that, but everything don't last forever. I guess, everything shit can change when it comes to that. The relationships, man. How you feel 3 years ago may not be how you feel, during this present day. But I guess that your best way is just breaking it down to it like that, man. Shit changed in the last 3 years, man. I know I lied to you then, but I ain't trying to lie to you no more.
Stocks up. I'm getting chose.
Right.
You wanna give
you got, Larry? You got the best advice, dog. I like how you bring it.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna get it to you real. That's why I'm your second favorite uncle. You know what I mean? Drunkle. Drunk will give it to you uncut, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you right now, dog, it don't matter how you break up with her, she not gonna understand. So do it however you want to, bro. Like, you can sit down, have a mature conversation with her, bro. She's not gonna understand, bro. She's not gonna care about none of that good shit you saying. Yo, we respect honesty, bro. She don't respect that shit. She's gonna be hurt and she's not gonna want to hear it. So you can text her a breakup. You can just block her on all your social media. You can call her, or you can sit down.
What's your favorite breakup you ever did, Larry?
I never broke up with nobody. I wait till they break up with me, because that way they understand. If you break up with them, I broke up with a girl one time. She ain't understand. So I ain't doing no more. I was like, you know what? I'll let them just X me out.
You just start being a shitty boyfriend? Like,
that's a slippery slope. But so you say, fuck it, I'm dumb. I'm waiting to she officially do it. Let me go out here and do my thing.
Nah, not cheat or nothing. Just wait it out. Like, when the end's near. both parties usually know when the end is near.
Sometimes
you get blindsided.
Sometimes,
see, if you got a situation like this where I'm pretty sure she thinking everything is
for sure
damn roses.
Okay, so then that go back to my point. Then just do it however you want to, bro. If I was you, I wouldn't even tell her. Just don't go around. Just don't answer her calls.
Yeah,
man.
just
Don't,
cut off dry turkey.
Yeah,
no, you can't ghost him. That's
why
you
not?
got 3 years, bro. You can't be with somebody for 3 years and just ghost them.
Yeah, we was a baby. We was babies then. Just ghost the dog.
So if you're grown now, you damn sure can't ghost. So you can't ghost. You just gotta man up and just have a real honest conversation. Like, yo, things change. She gotta be a little bit more mature herself. You know,
gonna get stabbed.
You disguise it. This is my thing. What I used to do, I used to disguise it as a break, or you could like, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point, man.
That's
Say
good.
it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, I gotta figure some shit out.
Yeah, that type of deal. A little time to
call her with some Donnell Jones in the background.
She gonna ask you how long you need. And
that's where I want to be. Gonna set the tone. She doesn't know what time it is when she pick up. Like, oh shit, I'm about to get dunked.
I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. And if we ever like have a get together, y'all might get to see this. That is my one and only karaoke song. I will smash that song, bro. I kill that song. And my ex used to hate that song because we was together since high school. So she was like, you singing that shit with a little too much.
A little bit more authority, huh?
Boy, that thing, it was singing to my soul, man. I understood everything that dude was talking about, man.
He definitely was preaching with it, man.
Yeah, man. I just sent her a message. I told her I'm gonna be coming home. Yeah, do that. Yeah, listen to Donnell. Tell her, just leave your baby girl a message. Tell her you won't be coming home. You rather be alone. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna fully understand you because you rather leave than to cheat.
They didn't cheat. You can't just
you
be out cheat.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what he probably gonna do.
Listen to that song.
Keep in mind, like because dudes don't just be bouncing unless they got some reserve buns. So he done met some shit. He done ran into something that got his interest. He's trying to get out of there.
That's how you know. Nah, this can't be real because I want to smash that desperately.
I gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, he definitely think about some cheeks elsewhere.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Ain't nobody just wake up and like, I want to go cheekless. I'm choosing to get rid of a pair of buns and not have no regular degular. Nobody wakes up like that.
That's a rarity.
Unless she's still in like your like wallet or some shit. Then you probably like, all right, I can't afford to keep her around. She got loose hands.
Oh man. That was a good one, man. I think we did a lot. I think we did some good work there, man. That it for the night? We got any more?
No, we out of here.
Okay.
Here. Larry, I'm gonna let you take us out with the song. What you got, my dude?
Ooh. Oh, wait. First, we gotta do what we learned.
What did you learn?
Oh, yeah. I'll start that one.
What you got?
I learned tonight that the key to being a good recruiter is it starts with being black.
That's a fact.
I learned. Both of y'all, listen, I'm not fighting y'all. Both of y'all were recruited. So I know how y'all went through the process. And so now I know, okay.
Who's the best recruiter on your staff?
T-Rob.
Very well.
Van
Dyke,
I'm gonna go
second.
I don't know because I was about to say I hear a lot of Fields smoke. Fields get a lot of love.
Okay.
He's a white dude.
On paper,
kind of like Brewster.
I don't think he has. Bruce is a little washed. Shout out my dog Bruce. He probably
Bruce washed his shit.
Bruce a little washed. He's a little washed.
Brew gonna smash you up, boy. You just gonna take that. So you gonna take that torch? Okay. Anyway.
I can't even use Brew information no more. So like.
Damn, that's cold.
Brew days
so like you useless to me. Get out of here.
Yeah, that boy days are long gone.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't think he has the sauce like he used to have. And also like he needs some boosters in his back pocket a little bit too. I don't think it's just some magic. His relationships is what helped him recruit, not just with the players, but also with the boosters. Mm. And I think I don't know if he has that UF right now in that his back pocket to pull some strings.
Good point.
But yeah, I mean, the best recruiters, bro, just like think about it. On most staffs, we had Juwan Sider. I mean, Sider just kicking in and killing because he cool as fuck.
Penn State currently.
Yeah, and it's genuine. He's really from the hood. He really can relate to these kids. He ain't got to put on the show. He really wear Jordans. He really listen to Lil Baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the relatability is just there, dog. Like, yeah.
I do all that, and I'm 40, so yeah.
Exactly. Like, imagine if you was a recruiter showing up with your little jersey and shit on like that.
Yeah, I'd be killing it out there.
Looking like Coach Pimp with the jersey on and shit.
Tight. The actual jersey, the tight joint.
Man, that fool, that boy. That boy had The pads and the thighs, the pads and the
wow, man.
The pads and the pants and all, boy.
The most egregious part was like photoshopping himself to like be a little bit more in shape. That's what it was egregious. When I seen his arm like a little chopped off,
little definition on it.
Right,
yeah,
boy. He had the cuff.
Anyway, all right, what you learned, see?
Yeah, with me, I forget what I think he said 67% of your thoughts you had the previous day. I forget the exact percentage.
I think you're about right, yeah. Something like
that. Yeah, that was eye-opener for me to know that, 67 of your thoughts you already had the previous day. So that's something that, we got to try to, and the special guest definitely touched on that, try to change moving forward for the positive outlook.
Yeah, your thoughts are just powerful regardless. Like your thoughts are just powerful. I'm glad the dudes came on. That was a lot of game. The brainwashing is what I learned. Like the term brainwashing and like sleeping. Like that was unique, and it was kind of post interview. I was like, man, just keep that shit in. You gotta leave that in.
I need to go wash my brain because I got to get up in a couple hours.
Yeah, you gotta be up to wake the chicken up and shit.
Yeah, I already know. All right, so what you learned today, bro?
I just said it.
The brainwash thing? Oh, that was
brainwashing. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you was piggybacking off his. My bad.
No, that's an actual term, like the brainwashing and how much sleep. And then 9 hours of sleep, it could be too much sleep. Like 6 to 8 hours is that sweet spot.
I definitely knew that because there's been times I've been like, I slept too much.
It takes an hour to actually get into that sleep that we need to try to get at the most.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Shit, we'll get on out of here. Let's see.
What you got?
Music. What have I been listening to lately? Not much, man. I be listening to so many podcasts, bro.
Don't play no damn Yellow Wolf on here.
And I can play what I want to on here. This ain't Culture Uncut, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give us. Actually, I would give it from the last show. I'm gonna do Usher, Bad Habits. That was my joint, and I remember my man saying he was like Usher.
That's what's up. Hey, we out of here, man. It's the Rollup.
Peace.